Toycats, and cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Kind of appropriate that we got that message on the Minecraft screen. Anyway, I just got back, and it's kind of fun. In the time that I've been gone, there hasn't been an official Minecraft update for this, but now I think basically everyone has shifted over to the new world selection screen, which is interesting to say the least. And so yeah, while we're here, we're going to go to realms, and this is how I access my world. It takes an extra click now. Also, the world select screen is very messy and lots. I've got some concerns of it, but we're just going to jump straight into my Let's Play. Oh, do you think I can change this screen here? Because this has to be, is it the same on everything? Oh, it is. It'd be cool if I could change this into like a screenshot of my world. Anyway, we're going to be playing on the Let's Play world today, and I've got 3 main tasks that we'll be going through as we do our usual stream and catch up. By the way, hello everyone. Hi Dasha. Hi Jeremy Muklioi. Hello Lego Show TV. Good to see you. I'm amazed at how long you've been subscribed. By the way, I remember seeing your messages forever ago. Maybe on Twitter, and I don't know. Every now and then you get like it's impressive, is what I'm saying. Chilius Bean 13. Hola, Tyler Kavauskas. Good to see you. Anime Girl. Is that a cat coming out of a box? Where did you get those emotes from? They're not from this channel, and I doubt they're regular emojis. Hey man, good to have you back, says Dasha. It is good to be back. Also, the thumbnail it looks like you're implying devil's lettuce. Who's to say that I'm not? You know, if I lived in Canada where that was a legal thing, who's to say you know, honestly, I wonder how much legality would shape your morality and stuff like that. Because to me, I feel like there is a real... I feel like, you know, the idea of doing a stream where we drink potato juice is like within the realms of okay, but I feel like doing a stream where I was to consume Canadian lettuce would be, I think, morally objectionable to some people. I don't think to myself. I think I have very I think my lines of morality are pretty easygoing. But as far as because I exist on the internet, I've got some stuff to do. Anyway, so I've got 3 main goals that I want to work on today, chat. My first goal is to go to my very ugly Minecraft house. Yeah, basically my goal while being there is to give a little bit more function to the interior. Did you know I have a random cherry tree mixed in amongst my... It's a very realistic cherry tree. But my goal is to... My goal while I'm there is to give it a little bit of function on the inside. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, my house is there. I was so terrified. I was like, is my house gone? Did I not build it? Did I imagine that Let's Play episode from this week? So I'm going to be adding a little bit of function if I can find a sheep. Weirdly, I don't see one though, right? Does anyone see a sheep? I see some salmon. That's useful. I think I will be taking some salmon and putting those somewhere. But what about a sheep? Does anyone have any ideas? So, yeah, basically, nice. That you're back, right? Says Cat Gods Play. Yeah, I had a really chill time away. I think sometimes sometimes you're gone for 3 days and it feels like the world has passed you by. And sometimes you're gone for, in my case, it was 6 days. But it felt like chill. In, out, pretty quickly, no stress. Chat, do you see a sheep anywhere? My plan was to get a sheep and tie it to a railing. But since I don't have that, we'll just have to accept this chicken in the meantime. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Hello, Mr. Chicken. You're going to be part of my modern art exhibition. Hope you don't mind. So, yeah, but can I put a goat here, even if Nightbot is grumpy? You can, Chilius Bean. Nothing can stop you. Visit your bedrock hole. That thing always gives me the heebie-jeebies. You know what, Dasher? The bedrock hole is something I also don't show off for morality reasons. Also, life isn't the same without Toycat notifications. I'm glad to know that your life is the same again, Battery Brains. Yeah, I sometimes, there's this fun thing on the internet. It's the easiest way to relate to anyone, is you just gotta be like, yeah, 2020 was 5 years ago, but also no time ago. I feel like that described, also, can I get the chicken over this gap? I might not be able to. Okay, go, quickly. Yay, I did it. Okay, so now we're just gonna go into the house. A lot of people said I did a really great job on my exterior, but they felt my interior was a bit too normy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spruce that up a little bit, or rather I'm gonna cherry this up a little bit by making sure I have some extra functions. There we go. That chicken, it's a little bit too low, don't you think? I think if we're gonna have a chicken, It should be a little bit higher up. So I don't know how that fence is still... Okay, there we go. So we just put him a little bit higher up. Now he'll have to hang. And, you know, it's useful. It's modern art, you know. So then the second thing I wanted to do today, after we go to sleep in my beautiful house... but the second thing I want to do today is going to be getting some netherrack mined. The reason I always have to, like, stop is because my pickaxes break. But because I have a bunch of XP... What just happened there, chat? Did I glitch into a block temporarily? There's a lot of weird bugs in Minecraft right now. I'm gonna be clear. That is definitely true. But, yeah, so then the third thing I want to do is I want to prepare for my first recycling project that I've finished since... Like, because I've destroyed a bastion, I've destroyed an ancient city, mostly, and I've destroyed a trial chamber. But I haven't actually rebuilt any of the things since the Woodland Mansion. I don't even know if the Woodland Mansion's technically complete. I think the Woodland Mansion project kind of scarred me. And so, rather than... I've had this, like, YouTube idealized version of how I would do reconstruction. Also, fly in the void, make chat anxious. You know, I actually am not 100% sure exactly where the bedrock hole is. I know it's around there somewhere. Maybe I should, like, turn it into a feature of the world. It's like if the house in the Minecraft 360 trailer was made today. Is there an ugly house in that trailer I'm not familiar with, Lexi? Also, another throwback. I'm glad we... Also, I'm glad we have so many old school people in the house. Also, as soon as I'm done finding sheep, the game is like, well, you want some sheep? Why didn't you just say? There's sheep and cows. I don't know why the mobs have all just appeared. You know, let's grab like 3 or 4 leads and let's put them all in there. Let's go get it done. Also, what about the End City building? Oh yeah, I did recycle at End City, right? I think I did successfully do that. Or did I not? Yeah, I definitely destroyed it. And I've definitely built a large-scale version of it, but I think I ran out of blocks before finishing it. Basically, I've been in this, like, this desire to, like, perfectly recycle, and while trying to perfectly recycle, I've just not recycled. There's a metaphor for recycling in there that is very, very clear and obvious, I think. But I think the... So I've got 24 leads. I'll just grab 3, and I'll grab most major animals, and I'll grab a bit of pink dye if I have some. I bet I can... There we go, pink dye. And that way my sheep can be pink, just to add to the vibes, you know? Everyone needs the vibes. The bedrock hole is very close to your beautiful house, that's why I'm mentioning it. You placed a lot of torches there. It's near water. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna go... I'll go check out my beautiful hole, Dasher. Thank you for the reminder. So this is my pink sheep. As you can see, he is very naturally pink. And then we'll also grab a cow. And maybe a wolf too. You know, the wolf will eat the chicken, so I don't think I can grab the wolf, actually. So I'll also keep the wolf away from the sheep pit. So you can mix sheep together now, says Cat Beanie. Yeah, it's a cool part of the most recent update. It's one of those features, though, where I was like, wait, could we not do that forever? Oh, chat, I've got an update for you. So my plan was to eat about an hour before I streamed. And I ordered food about an hour before I streamed. And it didn't arrive. So there's going to be a lobster roll randomly on its way at some point during the stream. I'd love to pretend like... Also, is this the bedrock hole? This is not the bedrock hole. I don't want to get any mobs trapped in it, though, either way. So yeah, just as a heads up, there will be some eating on this stream. There's a funny, like... I think this is, like... I don't know, a common anxiety when you're out of something for long enough. But there's always this, like, feeling the first time I'm back of, like, oh, yeah, I don't know how I stream. What is it that I do again when I stream? There's clearly some unique thing that I get done. But heck if I know what it is. It's, like, I think everyone in the world is excited. I think one of the most, like, human desires, like, the top of the Maslow's hierarchy, if you want to see it that way. But one of the most human desires in the world is this desire for, like, you know, feeling like you have done something, you know, self-actualization. Feeling like you've done something unique and no! Okay, they made it over the gap. I shouldn't have preemptively knowed. That was a sign I didn't think they were going to make it. Which is a sign I shouldn't have done it, but point for a different time, I guess. Anyway, let's lead the animals into the house, if we can. You better believe we can. And then let's tie them to this fence post. Boom. I've got some animals in here now, chat. They're all slightly off the ground, which is just wonderful. It's nice to get things when you're away from things for a while. See, yeah, that's like part of the reason people go away, right? But it's also like terrifying in its own way. Like, you know, rediscovering... I think rediscovery is like one of the most important processes for lots of things. But I also feel like... sometimes there's this like thing where you're like, oh yeah, what is it that I do? Which is, I think maybe is useful. Like, rather than like burying your head in the sand and being like, yep, this is, I know what I do perfectly because it's what I do every other day. Having to like rediscover it's great. I think this is the first time in a while that I've been like truly scared of it. Partially because of like, I've been trying to work out for a while like what it is that is the future of me on this platform, you know? I'm gonna just put a big salmon in here. There we go. We got all the classic 4 mobs, chat, all nailed up. Also, so nice to have a Toycat stream back while cooking dinner. Hey, Larry Nannery! Hope your dinner cooking's going well. You know, use a little bit of extra salt and pepper right now. You know, your brain is telling you you've already put salt and pepper on it. But why not put a little extra salt and pepper? No one's ever been like, oh, it tastes too much like salt and pepper. Too much salt, real problem, right? But pepper, it balances it out nicely. It works with everything. You I've got automatic grinders. I don't even think about it anymore. I just go, and then my life is better. Okay, let's go to the Nether now. Let's get it done. Also, good to see you, Chase Jimmy. Please find the hole and send you the screenshots. So yeah, I would love to. I'm gonna go see if I can't find this hole, Dasher. Okay, so, chat, there is a giant hole in my world that we don't know the source of. We can say that it's existed for at least most of a decade. We assume that it would have existed in the oldest versions of Minecraft. And it's around here somewhere. I think, apparently we put it on... Oh, okay, maybe over here? No, this isn't a bedrock hole. It's my how long can you be falling for hole. It's a very long fall, by the way. So over here, maybe where these random deep slate blocks are. Why are there? Is it this? Oh, that looks suspiciously like it might be a hole to bedrock, chat. Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I can lose 3 fireworks, but in exchange, I might find the key to all life. Yeah, let's make that risk. Okay, so chat, I'd be very careful not to fall through the void right now, but I think. This is one of the wonders of my Minecraft world. Oh, no. Oh, okay. No, it's not. It's just a random hole. It's just a random... Why is there a hole that goes down this deep and connects to nothing? Oh, here is the bedrock hole. Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. So, I can see why I wouldn't let this go all the way down to the ground now. I guess I should work out, like, should I make this into an exhibit, put fences around it, and be like, do not go? Honestly, it might be a great, like, touch for a modern art museum. I think there's lava above that, which might ruin those plans. But yeah, this is beyond fascinating to me. The idea of just having this hanging out in a world. So what we're going to do now is we're going to... I've got a ton of sticks, I hope. I've got 2 sets of sticks. That's enough to make... Not very much, actually. So I'll grab a block of bamboo, too. Thankfully, I've got those. And I'm going to make some ladders on the way out of this, so that if I want to come and look at it in the future, I'll be able to. So, enough bamboo planks to make a crafting table. Place the crafting table, I don't know, like, in the wall over here. And then we'll just make 45 ladders. I need at least 80. So we'll make all of this into bamboo planks. Make some more sticks and some more sticks. 99 ladders, perfect. So, yeah, we've got 2 extra sticks in here. We could try and do something with that, or we could just drop them. It doesn't matter too much. But let's go now to the top. And so now, I definitely should, like, dig up this exhibit. Also, is this a ruined portal up here? Or is the obsidian the lava? Yeah, it's the lava. So if I just break through enough blocks, I could definitely turn this into something special. Signs are a great idea. I start to carry them everywhere in my world, because it's getting big and confusing. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the downsides of a forever world, is you You've got to label things clearly because your memory is not perfect. So it's over here somewhere underneath the water. If I just drain some of it, I think it'd be pretty good. You could still fall through the glass panes. Yeah, I think I might mine it to the surface. It'll look like a proper chunk error. Yeah, could I put blocks back in the space? Could I put like glass down there as a security mechanism? I think there's got to be something fun I could do with it. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is very inspiring to me, chat. Like, what if we do just start mining that hole? So, I think I've actually lost the direction already. We're going to have to go back down. It might be that it's underneath my tear in the world. Which would be very, very beautiful if so. But let's find out. So, the ladder is facing this way. So, the hole is facing this way. This is the direction the hole is in. So, easy as that. And so, if that is the way the hole is facing, then what does that look like on the surface? I'm hoping it's not like underneath the void. Can you use fireworks below Y-64? You cannot. You will die permanently. I think on Java you can, but on Bedrock you definitely cannot. So yeah, all we'd have to do is like make a hole around here at just the right coordinates, and we'll be able to dig down. You know, I'm kind of liking this idea. Okay, so we'll place some bamboo planks like here, you know, just to get the vibes for where this hole would be. I'd have to check it a few times, but I think if we just like dig it into this, it would really look like we'd done something strange. Also, there are a lot of signs here. I will fall out of the water if I'm not careful. Do not ask how any of this makes sense, by the way. Just don't do it. Like, what is this? How is this sign not waterlogged? I guess it's pre-waterlogging signs. Okay, so I kind of want to do this. I love this idea. Because I was thinking about it already, chat. That one of the fun functions I could give to my horrific monstrosity build is for like a modern art museum. You know, it's kind of accidentally part of the way there. But wouldn't it be fun if we could build that into something? Also, put glass over the top. I was thinking, rather than glass over the top, why not just fences around it? And then it could be like a fence gate and be like, you're on your own if you go through there, mate. You know, do I have signs in here? I definitely should start traveling around with signs if not. Okay, so I don't have signs. So I'm just going to have to... Yeah, that's a flaw on my behalf, to be totally honest with you. So let's start... Let's put the crafting table down here. Then let's make some of these until we can make one of these. And so right here, a hole in the bedrock. Nice. Warning, danger zone. So yeah, we'll put some fences up later. We'll dig it down. I think it'd be a nice little project. Should we do that nice little project right now, chat? We should rename the stream to Toycats' Terrifying Hole. You know, actually, let me see. Assuming we haven't... Yeah, actually, yeah. So Harrison says he's just around to make a stream thumbnail now. So let's do it. Toycats' Terrifying Hole. Okay, there we go. We've named it Toycats' Terrifying Hole Dasher. I think this is a great idea. I think there is zero downside to this. So chat, if you've just joined me right now, I have a hole in my bedrock. The hole is either a result of the Xbox 360's original generation, or it's a result of one of the world size increases. We haven't been able to track down exactly why there is a hole in bedrock, but what we have been able to track down is that there is a hole in the bedrock on this seed. And so when the Caves and Cliffs update came out, what it does is it duplicates the bottom layer of your Minecraft world down, except the bottom layer of my Minecraft world was a hole. So it duplicated the void down to there, which is kind of like terrifying if you think about it. And so the shape of this hole is 2 blocks this way. So 3 blocks this way and like a square. There's a 3x4, okay, let's do the maths on this. There's a 3x4 square, and then it has a hole dug out 2 blocks that way, and a hole dug out 2 blocks this way. So that should look like... No, it doesn't quite... the maths on this square. So it's going to be a 3x4 square. And then on the second block here, you know, I can work this all out later. But let's go up a few layers. So this is 4 blocks away. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're on the corner of the hole. So let's just repeat that, but up here. So we go... do I have any blocks on me right now? I'll put a grass block down here. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're on the corner of the hole. So this is the first block in the hole. Okay, there's lava down there. That's something to watch out for. I lost my water when I brought the salmon down, so easily something to be fixed. But then there's also a block over here. And then there's a block over here. I hope I don't fall in there, by the way, but I feel like my totem should keep me safe. As indeed the totem keeps too many people safe. So, yeah, we could just, rather than having to mine painful obsidian, we could straight up just go, put that in there, and then mine it away. Yeah, it looks great to me. So then, I think it was 3 blocks this way, we said. Although we actually don't need to, we can put these obsidian or deep slate blocks back. And then we mine a block over here. And then a block over here. Yeah, this is great. Chat, I think we have, and then, okay, so this is the shape of the hole, if I know what I'm doing correctly here. There's a block here that's missing. And then, oh, chat, I think someone has finally, someone has picked up my lobster roll. It's been, oh no, it's been, okay. It's happened, chat. I've got some very good news for you. You are mining for diamonds. I remember us finding this hole. What a surreal experience. Yeah, the fact that this hole exists is ridiculous. I think that should go without saying, first of all. The fact that there is a hole is kind of crazy. But even crazier is I'm just going to dig through this, chat. I'm going to lose a torch forever. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, look at that. So now there's also just lava spilling through into the hole, which is also not ideal. But, yeah, I've picked the right blocks. I can now confirm that much. I am going to grab some water, just because I think getting obsidian is useful. And we'll make the thing out of that. Also, lobster roll, says Chris Smith. Lobster roll time! Hey, Elwisian. Ecstatic for lobster roll time. Do you know how long it's been since I had a lobster roll? You don't want to know how long it's been. Anyway, I'm going to have to go get it real quick. It comes in a bag. Okay, I shouldn't stand this close to a void hole. AFK, by the way. Like, I actually don't fear death in this Minecraft world. I think most people don't. I think the thing that you should fear is dying in the void. I would lose 5 shulker boxes, all my netherite tools, my elytra, like, it'd be a pain, right? I think realistically at a certain point, dying in the void and dying in... I guess, yeah, just the void, really. I guess dying next to a cactus could be awful. Or dying next to fire. Do netherite tools survive going into fire? I think they do, but we should test. Isn't it weird that a mace doesn't? The mace should be considered netherite. Anyway, guess what's in the bag? You've got 2 guesses, chat. You've got 2 guesses. You've got a... I'm glad y'all are appreciating this beautiful title. It is a very beautiful title, Dasher. I've never seen one as glorious ever, I think. Okay, so if the hole is here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the edge of the hole. And so this is part of the hole here. We'll deal with the problems this creates later. That's part of the hole there. That's part of the hole there. Then there is something over here, at least. I'm going to have to get some sand. It's okay. Don't need these blocks here anyway. Okay, so this is the corner. This is going to be part of the hole, so we have to remove it and dig it down. Then there's a part of the hole here, So we'll remove both of these blocks. Then part the hole here. So this goes 4 blocks here. Then it goes out 1. So this is where we place some sand. And then I think there's like a 2-block wide hole over here. And then is this... This is not how the finished layout looks at all. Is it not actually? Yeah, I think this might be exactly it, actually. So remove 1 more piece of sand. I think this is what the end hole should look like, chat. No, it's not. There's a horrible mistake in here somewhere, and I cannot work out what it is. Okay, so this is the hole here. Then the other part of the hole is over there. Okay, whatever, you get the point. So it's going to be a big hole here. We'll work out the surface thing later. For now, let's go down and look at it. But let's put some water down first. Good evening all. Sorry I'm late, I was watching Severance. So what are we doing, Big Cat? Good to see you, Polly E. Thank you for joining me on our parasocial relationship today. But first, what's in the bag? You get 2 guesses. Only 2 guesses, chat. You have to... seeing people say your hole is terrifying, Toycat, brings me so much joy. I hope that the hole is sufficiently terrifying. So this is my terrifying Bedrock hole, chat. It is not just a hole in the Bedrock version, it is a hole in the Bedrock itself. And so as soon as I remove these blocks of obsidian, as I am doing right now, just great, thank you for asking, I can then remove the stone below them, and that gives me this. Oh god, that is... It's just scary. I'm gonna have to, like, place some torches down or something. I do not trust the game not to spawn something in here and ruin my day. But yeah, I'm gonna place some torches down. Literally everywhere I can. And I want to go somewhere where I can get a good view at it without feeling like I'm gonna immediately die into it. Is here good, chat? You know, let's put water down like there. As a fail-safe. This is my Bedrock hole. I hope it doesn't kill me. So, doesn't McDonald's do lobster rolls somewhere? Yeah, I think it's Atlantic Canada. Like, lobster gets really cheap. Like, lobster's very seasonal, like pork. And so, the costs become transport costs at a certain point. Which means if you live where the lobsters are, it's a very cheap meat. Oh yeah, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Vertigo looking down the hole. You get vertigo and you look in my terrifying Bedrock hole. Oh, my lobster roll is upside down, chat. I can't see you seeing me actually. Let me make sure that it, okay. Oh, you can't see anything at all from this angle. My lobster roll. Oh, it's like, anyway, it's upside down. It's okay though. Here we go. I got it. Life is good. It is freezing cold, but it's not actually. It's like room temperature minus. It is very, very late. Yeah, it's actively cold. It tastes like it's just come from the fridge, but it's been sat around for 10 minutes. But it's still pretty good. You know food is good when it can arrive 2 hours late, and you'll still be happy. So everyone, also pork is seasonal? Yeah, pork prices are very seasonal, weirdly. I don't know why that's true, actually. I'm guessing there's a season where there's an economic incentive to kill. Why is that? It could just be that it varies from season to season and not... It could just be like, more people get pigs when prices go up, so then the prices go down. Could be one of those types of things. Because there's not like a regulated market for pork. Lobster roll is just a sandwich. My whole life is a lie. What did you think a lobster roll was this whole time? So yeah, I usually put butter on this, but chat, they didn't give me any butter, and it would have gone very hard if they did anyway. So I'm going main style on this, despite being a Connecticut lover. Oh yeah. It's good. Would you spend £20 on it? The absolute, the value person inside of me is spooky. Thank you. Why is it 2 hours late? I don't understand, actually. They made it at 5 PM. I was going to, like, have an hour break before the stream. But they couldn't get a ride to the restaurant. Which makes sense. It is a Friday. Like, it's the busiest time for deliveries, but that also usually means it's the busiest time for delivery riders. Maybe not today. I went to Harrods last week, and I got the world's most average lobster roll, and it cost me slightly less than this. It's just good. Like, there's some, you know how like cold pizza's still delicious because you're like, tastes like pizza. That's the vibe I'm getting from this chat. I think they were expecting a roll, like a spring roll. I feel like you'd waste lobster. I mean, I guess you could argue that too. I thought it was an egg roll, but lobster. We don't have egg rolls in the UK. They're one of my favorite, like, Chinese things. It tastes like... It tastes like meatier prawns, I would say. I think the thing about lobster is it's objectively garbage meat. So you put so much work and the stuff around it. It's like, if you grow up with fancy meat, you probably love bavette steaks or the ramkat or whatever else. But if you grow up around not expensive meat, you probably love spam and corned beef. Like I think corned beef is one of the best inventions man's ever come through. And so I feel like the same thing is true for lobster. Like, I don't think there is such thing as good seafood. I think that's a lie. So lobster's great because it's garbage, cheap meat. Which means they have to make it good. Chiliest. 2 hours is outside of food safe rules. I'd be unhappy. Jenny Nobody. I will refuse to eat this lobster roll and I'll demand a full refund. In about 20 seconds. Your whole tastes like meatier prawns. Meatier prawns? Yeah, yeah. Bro, don't eat with your mouth full. Should I eat with my mouth empty? Such an S tier food chat. Absolutely S tier. Okay, one sec. Try not to get me killed, chat. Why is my hole so dark? Yeah, like, isn't it strange that the hole gets dark at night? I guess because you're not meant to be able to see through Bedrock. You just see the skybox down there. Which means if I stare at this long enough, I'll eventually see the daytime. Mouth sounds, though. Do you like the mouth sounds, chat? I hope you like the mouth sounds. If you don't, we can skip forward. Chair just proposition chat. You know, the chair will have to apologize for its actions. Also, do I want to... I realize I can mine this hole here now. As I'm going to do. I'm going to need to bring back some glass or something, because otherwise I might accidentally fall into the hole. Anyway, yeah, chat, the truth is lobster rolls aren't meant to be hot. The filling is, and then the outside's meant to be, like, toasted, I guess. So it was weird to have the whole thing be the same temperature. The bread at the end there kind of reminded me of, like, questionable sandwich bread. In, like, maybe not the best way. But that was still a pretty decent experience. I would not ever pay £20 for it. Which is why I thank my lobster roll members. Wow, you type fast, says Robert May. I don't think I type fast. I think people now type slow. I think it's like saying to an old man, like, wow, you've been alive for a long time. And it's like, no, it's you who's not been alive for very long. Well, I guess actually, I guess relative to, like, what is a long time to be alive, chat? You know, it used to be accepted. I think we should go back to the days where, like, you know, you have a child, 2/3 chance they don't make it to 5. I think we would all understand the human condition so much better if we were aware of how frail it was at, like, an automatic level, you know? I think that would solve so many issues. Like, you know, there wouldn't be a... The reason we have a debate around, like, you know... you know, I'm backing out of this debate, chat. I'm not. I apologize my indiscretions and that of my chair. And I choose not to continue this one any further. But I think if we just had children die as an expected thing, it'd be a miracle when they survived. Whereas now, like, you know, a million children born every year if you have a population of, like, you know, 40 million. Multiple millions if you have a population above that. Yeah, some of them aren't gonna make it. There's gonna be children who, you know, like, get hit by a car, or children that, like, you know, like, eat the wrong thing. The diseases still exist. I feel like if we were all just... Also, thank you, Anarchy Pasta, for becoming a channel member. Welcome. I think that is a new name I have not seen before, and I love it. Did you call it dinner or tea? This could be, you know, this could be me outing myself as, you know, like, borderline immigrant, right? Like, I am, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, chat. Tea is not what you call dinner. Tea is what you call a drink that you might have out of a mug, you know? Agreed, typing is a lost art like cursive. Used to have those classes, not anymore. Oh, even typing... Okay, so that's the thing, though. I think typing classes are a dumb idea, too. I want to go out on record and say that right now. Like, a typing class doesn't make any sense. I don't... It's just like, to be on the internet, typing fast has such a benefit because everything on the internet requires typing. It's one of the unfortunate facts of life. People die. Yeah, I think we would all be much better off if we could understand that people died and it was a miracle that we kept them alive rather than the inverse. I also think people would be more willing to have children. Like, you know, like right now, there's this, like, if I was to have a child, chat, 99.9% chance it makes it to 18, right? So one, that means people think I'm a terrible parent if it doesn't make it to 18. You know, like, oh, like, you know, I think in the last, like, 30 years, the trend of, like, you cannot leave your house at any time unless you're accompanied by your parents. I think that's wild in an era where we want both parents to work. It basically means, like, yeah, you're on, we borderline put children under house arrest, you know, for their safety or whatever. But going even deeper than that. Okay, so chat, I need to make sure I've measured this hole correctly. Because I'm looking at it now and it doesn't make any sense to me. I hated typing exactly what they wanted me to. I was better at typing what I wanted to. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like, you've got a message you want to get out there. I think that the lesson I would give is, like, learn to type fast, then learn to type right. And if you do it like that, it'd be pretty good. Anarchy Pasta says, I've been waiting to catch you live so I could hear the music when I joined. Oh, that's fun. Welcome. Okay, so this is what the actual hole looks like. It's 2 blocks this way. This shape doesn't make sense to me, chat. But I think I get it now. The hole goes straight into the curve, so we can easily follow that. We're gonna need some sponges, but it'll be great. Altered Beast says, oh, let me clarify how old I am. I meant typewriter classes. Oh, Altered Beasts, Jesus. I'm sometimes impressed that people here are, like, familiar with the Xbox 360 edition. You're probably out there playing Minecraft on your Commodore 64. Anyway, okay, so the shape of it is 2 in here, then it goes 2 out here. This makes the... yeah, I think I've got this right, actually. So all we need to do is start digging down. Keeping in mind that if we start digging down, we'll lose all of our signs. So I have to remove all of these signs, chat. Actually, there's not that many to move, but I have to remove this sign here. And then also these signs over here. Anything that's going to be interrupted. And I need to put them on the other side of this wall. So, I guess this is it, just these ones here. Oh no, I lost a lot of signs, chat. I don't know how I ended up with only 4 of those signs. But now we can go back in there. We can place a sign there, put E on it. Sign over here. Don't put E on it. Then we'll place a bamboo sign here. And one over there. And that should mostly keep the water at bay, right? It seemingly isn't. The water's falling its way through that gap there. So I've got more signs I've got to make. But otherwise... oh, here's one of them. So we just now fill this block with a sign, which can go on the side of... actually, we'll just place it on the side of over here. So is that 1 block up? Yeah, it is. So we place the sign here. So now that water stops falling and the ugliness ends. And we can now officially break down these blocks. Can I confirm that is true? Except I need to drain these first. So let's place some blocks upwards. So what should the surface of this hole be made out of, chat? What should the surface be made out of? Toycat, I'm new to the stream. What do you mean by Toycat's terrifying hole? Oh, well, if you watch this stream, you're going to be terrified when you see my hole. That's what I mean, Giet Bukleverd. I hope that answers your question. And if it doesn't, then don't worry, it will eventually. So this is a regular sponge, and so is this one. See, this is the genius of the house, chat. For most people, getting a sponge is like a trip to an ocean monument. But if you build your houses out of sponges, do you know what you can just do? You go to your house and you find the sponges over there. It's such a genius move for me. I think I will be replicating this in the future. Anyway, what's your opinion on garlic bread? It's great, Carlisle. It's very good. Everyone loves garlic bread. That was a softball question. You know, I want you to be my interviewer when I run for president. It's like, so Mr. President, people say your economic policy is gonna kill millions. And I'd have to be like, well, yeah, well, that's my point, isn't it? I'm trying to make sure that more of us die so we appreciate the alive ones more. And, you know, I get a lot of controversy from that. But it'd be nice to have the softball question of, but what about garlic bread? Do you like it with or without? Do you like garlic bread that's kind of like pizza? Or do you like garlic bread that does its own independent thing? Also, the water is pouring in here. I kind of didn't expect that it would come from the other side. But I 100% should have. And it seems to be just fine either way. I could put some ladders on the side of these blocks. Should I actually? Because you can't have a ladder underwater, can you? You can have a ladder underwater, apparently. But you can't have a sign underwater? I guess you can't have a sign in flowing water. That's probably true. So now we're just going to break both of these. And we're going to start digging down. You excited, chat? The terrifyingly big hole is beginning. Yeah, if we just do something about that. So maybe place a few more signs on top of these signs. We'll be able to stop the water coming through. But for now, it looks like it is very... oh, and it's going to come through, and it's going to go down here. We've got a very big problem ahead of ourselves, chat. Digging down to make this hole go all the way to bedrock, going to be a nightmare. Also, hey, Prowl and their viewers just joined. Say hello. Hello, Prowl and their viewers. It's good to see you. I'm showing off my terrifying hole for anyone who's just joined. And so, would you like to see what it looks like? In fact, let's dig down from a nice central point here and show you what it looks like. So I'll make this 2 blocks deep just so we have a hole, if nothing else. And I'll show you what this looks like. Also, Prowl raid here, you know what to do. Loot, pillage, plunder. Oh no, chat, we summoned a raid. At least we can be rest assured that the boss blitz add-on is not enabled. And therefore it's not going to be the, the pillager king. Also, I've got a hard time finding bamboo shoots in my world. That's very unfortunate. But yeah, so I'm gonna now show you my beautiful hole. So if you haven't seen this already, or you've just joined, as apparently lots of people are doing, apparently the title tempts too many people in. I think there is something about an absurd title. Chat! What happened? Okay. So this is my terrifying hole. For anyone not familiar, that's why it's a terrifying hole. It is beyond terrifying to spend some time in. Did I really just find this while mining for diamonds, by the way? I thought I didn't based on the way the hole there connected, but let's see what this connects into. Yeah, what a strange one. Okay, so the good news is I survived. I should have seen that coming, but I did not see that coming, chat. And yeah, it looks like I came into here from somewhere. I wonder where though. Oh, here we go. So I was in this cave when I mined these blocks over here, and that apparently led me down a bit of a rabbit hole. So I should definitely put up some blocks being like, yeah, this is a concerning place. Watch out for it. You know, just so future me, if I'm ever in this cave, knows. Like, do not come through here, basically. And then we can get right back to our journey to the top. So, I guess there isn't a staircase from here going upwards, huh? That seems like something I can fix. So it's something I'm going to... Oh, is this a part of the hole to Bedrock? No, it's not. It's just I dug down from there. So now let's keep digging up. Also, who else was here when he found his hole? You know, it was a very special moment when I found my hole for the first time. It wasn't a moment I was expecting to share with so many internet strangers, but I'm glad that there are multiple of you here watching that remember me finding this hole. It was a beautiful moment. I'm glad you could have been there for, to be honest with you, chat. So I didn't realize it was part of the Bedrock floor till just now. Now I understand the terrifying hole. Oh, you didn't know, Carlisle? Yeah. This, again, I was in this cave. Oh, God. And I just dug one of the walls, and I found this. Why is this here? I do not know. I think I was looking for diamonds because old chunks have below them more diamonds because they used to generate more often. And so I figured maybe I'd find some, and I found something much more terrifying. Although now I'm curious, you know, would I have found more diamonds if I kept going down this cave? Because I definitely kind of stopped after that. But, you know, maybe I missed out on a primo source of diamonds in here. No, it looks like I continued. It looks like I found any diamonds there were to find. Thank God. So how is there a hole to Bedrock? I thought Bedrock breaking was Java only. So this hole wasn't broken by me. It was broken by Minecraft, if you'll believe. This hole right here goes... It's just so weird to look at and see the skybox. So I'm going to just fly up, I think. I think this little staircase is a great idea, but it's also terrifying me too much. So let's go. Oh, God. This is now what it looks like. You can see all the way from the top of the world down to the bottom. Kind of nutty, really. So now I need to remember that I have to stop mining when I get to about Y... What would you call that, chat? Like Y3, so Y6 maybe is where I stop. And we'll be good. I'm glad you finally found your hole so we could all enjoy it in fear together. Jenny Nobody, I'm very glad that you agree with my logic. Holes are something... it's rare to find your hole. You know, this world is You know, in the grand scheme of things, it's Also, are my sponges dry? How are they dry, chat? Is there a bug right now? Do you get dry sponges from wet sponge? You know, let's find out. Okay, no, you do not. I don't know what happened to the wet sponges, but I guess they're fine now. So let's just get out of here. Into the water, I guess. And let's make it daytime. Because you'll be able to see a really cool feature of my hole. Which is it can actually see the, it can see the skybox like the outside world can. You'll notice this if you have a really low render distance, notably on Realms or Nintendo Switch. If you're mining in a cave, you'll often be... Oh, there's a missing cow. If you're mining in a cave, you'll often notice they dried in the savannah. Is that how the savannah works? Let me see. No. Or is it? I mean, no, this one looks kind of wet still, right? Yeah, that's a... So let's put this wet sponge back there. Again, I think it's an ugly enough block that it works there. And then let's also put a chest down in my house. No, I've got a problem with hoarding chests, chat. No chests. I'm gonna go back to my house though, and I'm gonna pick up some fences and some glass. Because right now this hole is too terrifying to deal with without both of those things. Yeah, it just goes all the way down. So let's go fix it. Also, we told you the cow escaped. I'm sorry, Chilius Bean. My bad. It confuses me that people call them sponge blocks when it's literally cheese you eat. You know, is this how we prove the John leak's correct? We just say cheese has been in the game forever. Wow, look at John. He predicted a feature from 2013. Wow, look at almighty John. Chat, I'm going to make predictions for the next Minecraft update. I think they are going to add features. There's going to be new blocks. And maybe a new mob. Those are my guesses. So let's now put in our dirt and our grass. And then our sand and our stone up here. We're going to pick up a ton of stone, but like, still better to deal with what we have now and other stuff later. And then let's, if we have some fence posts actually already, that'd be great. So 21 oak fences. I think this is an old feature, so oak fences make the most sense. And then we want some glass to go with it. Since we're talking inappropriate subjects, what's your thoughts on the new hermaphrodite cow/bull? Do you get a bucket of milk or a bucket of male cow juices now? Did you know cows have always been hermaphrodite? Said 6. I think it's become controversial recently because I think this is a problem with... You could probably argue... that I'm going to say this is just a problem with the world, chat. I'm just going to come out with my bold take here. And I'm going to tell you that I think that we try to make art political, which maybe, like, you could argue art always has been and always will be political. But distinctly a type of political that was seen as, like, toxic to too many people. And so now, when art is making pretty apolitical statements, if they even touch close to it, we've reverted too far the other way. And we're like, oh yeah, damn hermaphrodite bulls ruining my Minecraft. Sacrifice the pink sheep to the hole. Oh, that's a good idea, Cat. That is a really good idea. You know what? You've won me over with that idea right there. Chat, do you think the pink sheep should go in the hole? I think that's the only logical thing that I should think. Okay, so I want to get a ton of new signs while I'm here too, because I need to do something about that water. And this is the closest thing I've got to a solution. So oak signs. If I don't have oak signs, I can just use oak planks, right? So these are oak planks. I've got some sticks, but I can easily make some more. So take these guys, split them in half, and make 12 oak planks. That feels a little on the low side. But it'll do, I guess. It'll do. Okay, so put back the 1 oak plank. Put back the sticks. And let's go. Please help Harrison out. How the hell do you make a thumbnail for Toycats' terrifying hole? Chat, how do you make a thumbnail for Toycats' terrifying hole? This is a very good question, and I would like a very good answer. If you have one. How deep is Toycats' hole? That's a good question. It's about 128 blocks deep. 128 meters. For comparison, the Minecraft... I'm about 1.8 meters. So, you know, that should help you understand the true scale of this hole. Okay, so... Here we are. Look at it. So now I'm going to put fences up around this. So probably we'll have to remove this, but... We'll put fences up on all sides besides the one that's over there. Making sure not to go into the hole. Specifically going out and around where possible. Okay, so this is mostly now covered. We can put 5 fences on the outside here, though. I'm just not going to. And then I'm thinking we put some glass down at the very bottom, right by the void chat. It's going to be a scary idea to do that, though, so I'm going to hold off for as long as I can. So, also, we have to stop this water getting in. So let's just place signs. There's a way to do this, I just don't know what that way is. So, yeah, I guess this block is going to stay there, so we'll place... Okay, so this is done something now, right? Unless that sign is just waterlogged. That's my fear. But I can't place something on the side of it, so maybe it isn't. Maybe we should place a block. I don't know what's happening here, chat. Do I scoop this up with a bucket, maybe? Ah, yeah, the sign was just waterlogged. For some reason, you can't place a sign on the side of a waterlogged sign. Useful to know. And then we have to also deal with down here, because every single block that I mine down is going to cause me problems otherwise. So we're just going to keep on doing this. Over and over, down and down, until we have solved our problem. Maybe. Although it looks like, oh god, it looks like the water problem is just going to keep coming back, chat. So yeah, here's what it looks like from underneath the weird ravine thing. Which I guess actually is going to be able to go right next to the hole. Maybe I should just remove the water from the top. I thought it was oh so clever to keep the water going over my giant hole in the world, chat. But maybe this is actually the worst idea. Hi, Toycat. May you explain why your hole is terrifying? Oh, KMB, you ask a very good question, so let me give you a very good answer. Except I'm like, I'm feeling a bit non-verbal today. So let me give you my answer via Minecraft, if you'll accept it that way. So my hole might seem like it's just a regular hole. It might seem like there's nothing to be scared of here, really. Terrifying might seem like clickbait, but if you would like to take a glance, you might understand why the hole is in fact extra terrifying. Also, hi, says IBX Toycat. Oh. Hi. Okay, Harrison is on the wrong account. Oh, interesting. Very interesting problem. I didn't know Harrison could chat as IBX Toycat. Well, hello, look, it's IBX Toycat, but from the multiverse. Yeah, it's been a funny thing forever. You haven't, like, so if you don't know, Harrison has the ability to upload to the channel. So, like, it means he can be IBX Toycat. Toycat viewing his own terrifying hole. Yeah, so the thing is when you look into the hole, it does accidentally duplicate your, your entire existence. Toycat has 4 hands, 2 are chatting. Okay, chat. Okay, I'm just gonna share the reality with you, chat. I haven't been making videos for a very long time. I outsourced my own personality to a to a man on the other side of the planet. He learned my mannerisms. He learned what I enjoyed. And so if something's felt a bit off with me recently, it's because there's actually a second copy of me, and he accidentally joined the stream right now. So my bad. Apologies. New lore hole just dropped. Hell, I'm actually IBX Toycat. Sorry, exactly. Harrison, I think it's finally time we come out and let people know. So I've been training Harrison in how to make beautiful builds, and the worst build ever was actually just his final initiation. He passed, and he is now a proud IBX Toycat. which means I can spend my time on the beach. You know, there's a fun thing, right? I got this question from just pre-stream actually. It was the idea that if AI really is the next big thing and really does make us all unemployed, then what do we do then, right? Like, I think it's a really fun question because the real answer, if we're like being painfully real of ourselves, is like, you know, I don't know, starve to death in the streets. But the fun answer is like, what do people do when they are not provided with an easy way to link their remuneration, you know, their ability to provide for themselves, with their, you know, like their ability to do something of value for other people. You know, like, because right now, like, if you want to, you know, survive, effectively you have to do something the world asks of you. You know, you usually have some choice in what that thing is, but it's still kind of terrifying to think about. The like, oh yeah, and what happens if you don't do what the world asks of you? And it's like, well, I guess actually in that case you would just starve, wouldn't you? And I think that's one of the reasons people find homelessness to be such a scary issue. Like, a lot of people are like, yeah, this could be you, right? And for a lot of people, it could be them. It's that is really for anyone, right? Like, if you had no family support networks and every single job you went to just said, nah, we don't feel like hiring you today, what happens then, huh? Also, here is just an update on the terrifying hole. I'm gonna fall down here, I think. Oh god. Update on the terrifying hole. It now goes quite tall. Very, very lovely. Whew. Toycat, if Toycat falls in love with Toycat, what is that considered? Are you going for the incest or masturbation argument here? I think the idea of like clones are incompatible with our understanding of the self. If you actually could clone yourself, you'd have to really quickly work out like who has the rights in that relationship. Do you share them equally? If I clone myself, who has access to my bank account, my Minecraft world, my bedroom? Do we share them, or do I have access to those things because he was created right now? Because if you actually create a true clone, that clone believes that it was created, you know, 29 years ago too. And so it is cruel. Imagine waking up one day and being told, oh yeah, there's a clone of you, and he has all your stuff now. You don't have any of your stuff. Rip. Sucks to be you, huh? God, I wish you placed the sign, Toycat's Terrifying Hole. It's an official title now. You know, let's do it. Let's do it. I've got the sign anyway, right? So we'll just put it down. So I think we'll put it on the side of the fence here. Toycat's Terrifying Hole. Hopefully it is terrifying. But anyway, so yeah, ignoring the clone thing aside, because that's more sci-fi than the idea of us all being replaced by some form of machine. Assuming that you have a world where we all just get our needs provided for, and therefore our time becomes our own, what do people do? Because I think a lot of people envision themselves saying, yeah, I think I would just go to a beach and I would exist on the beach every day. I think it's so uncreative to say that, though. I think that, you know, I think one of the most valuable things we could do for people is probably to mandate that you take a month off in your life, minimum every decade, right? And just say, look, we want you specifically to not engage in paid work. Here is money to go and take a break. Find what your meaning is. Find what your value to yourself and to others is. Outside of doing the things that, you know, result in money. Because I think you would realize, like, oh, yeah, recovering is nice, but only for a couple of days. And then also a lot of people say, like, well, I would just create art. You know, like a lot of art, traditionally a lot of art has been produced by, you know, let's not sugarcoat it, like wealthy, or at least upper middle class people who have, you know, like, who can produce things that don't seem like they are of value to other people, no direct value. So I'm just gonna put fences here just so I like can store these fences somewhere, by the way. So this is the hole to be the way in. Very lovely. And I guess we'll just let the hole flow all the way down to bedrock. We'll deal with the consequences of what that does later. For now, I think, yeah, the hole needs to flow to Bedrock. It's the only way this all works out. I'm so glad I put in my headphones so random people around me at the car dealership are not hearing this. There's battery drains. You know what? People around you at the car dealership need to understand that Toycats' hole is magnificent, and Toycats' hole will be seen. Who can stop me, you know? Also, Adam Stoney, if I clone myself, would I be allowed to consent for half my clone? Oh, yeah, the legal, you have to, you know, it's kind of like copy pasting a file. Like you know, like, if you copy paste a file, they're the exact same file, but they have different names, right? So there would be Adam Sony, and there'd be Adam Sony 1. Or, is that how it does in Windows? It's how it does it in Minecraft, at least. You would have to, yeah, I think that's how you'd have to do it. So I'm going to place a block here just so future me knows there's something there. I'll put like a piece of glass down, maybe. Put glass down there and then put water down. Yeah, that's fun. I got to do something about this deep slate. I don't know why it's here or what it's here for. I just know it doesn't make any sense here. So, you need to update the world on the marketplace so we can visit the hole. You can visit the hole right now if you don't mind it in unfinished form, but it will be updated soon. We used to update every single update. Now I don't know what the rule should be, to be honest with you. I ask the questions people are too scared to ask. Yeah, I think that's a really good question. Like, can you if you don't immediately create a legal identifier for each clone, then yeah, you could commit crimes and have your clone charged. Would that be fair to everyone else, chat? If you, let's say I commit, you know, like if I steal a bunch of stuff, could I send my clone to prison to atone for me? Like legally that's me, right? My clone remembers doing the things. But also, me too. Do you have to send us both to prison? Is that the only fair way to resolve that? Or is the clone not culpable? Because the clone has memories of doing the thing. In fact, there's a really fun, it is a really fun ethical debate. If you forget the crime that you committed, should you still go to prison? If you have no recollection of doing it? If you have, like, a memory loss problem altogether? Like, because if prison is meant to be about rehabilitation, can you ever rehabilitate someone who will never remember their rehabilitation? Therefore, should you rehabilitate someone? What if your clone sends you to prison for a crime they commit? Yeah, these are the real problems you have to... I guess you have to post bail when you make a clone. And then that clone has to have a tracker on them. You know, yeah, you have... There's no way that cloning works. See, this is all dumb sci-fi, but there's no way cloning works where you don't immediately take away their rights. Or take away the rights to both the clone and the person. And, you know, isn't that sad? I don't think you can work it out, chat. I do have memory loss problems. Does that mean I can do crimes? It means you shouldn't. It means you shouldn't do crimes, but you can't be punished for them. At least not in my justice system, cat. What about needing to replace an organ from your clone? I think that's the more viable use for like clone stuff, right? I think there's weirdly, I think a lot of people find the idea of killing your clone to be horrifying. So you have to specifically grow your clone's organ only, or grow like a non-viable version of your clone. Grow like a brain-dead version of you, to then have another kidney that will function, so you can kill your kidneys and grow another pair or whatever. You know, there was a serious topic underneath all of that, chat. But I'm stuck on clones now. I can't stop thinking about it. Like, you know, am I allowed? You know, if we make clones subhuman, is murdering a clone still murder? Again, like, is it based on the... Like, if I kill a clone, I haven't deprived, you know, a real natural born of their life. But I have killed someone with all of the experiences and all of the sadness and pain that comes with death. Is that still so bad? Honestly, I think clones are really great for making you question, like, what is okay and what isn't. Because, you know, is what makes murder bad the fact that you're depriving someone of life? Or the fact that you are so monstrous that you could deprive someone of life, you know? Because, like, if you kill someone who is terminally ill, that's still murder. Like, if you go to the hospital, and you go to the, what's it called? The euthanasia department, I know that's not valid everywhere in the world, but if you go to the euthanasia department and you kill people knowing they're being put down anyway, you know, should that count for less of a crime? Because that's kind of where the clone thing goes, right? It's a version of you that you've deliberately put up to be eventually murdered, presumably. Yeah, it's a real good question. Also, isn't a clone of you the same as two identical twins, assuming memories aren't transferred? Oh, I'm assuming memories are transferred, because otherwise it's not a clone, it's a rebuilt version of you. I think the easier version of clone is if you say, yeah, what if we take your DNA, we birth you again, and then we speed through the years of that birth so that you appear at your current age, but without your memories? Then I think the ethics change a lot, because, well, one, you would be like, you know, like, there's a bunch of stuff you learn as a baby you wouldn't learn if you were grown to be a clone. You would be much less smart, because we wouldn't invest, you know, time in making education for you. So you would be, like, as, you would be uneducated entirely. You wouldn't have learned how to read or write. You probably wouldn't learn how to speak naturally, right? You know, okay, so yeah, if you really think about that one, it goes nowhere. Also, as a definition of clone, a human made of your DNA, or are you thinking more like a replicant from Blade Runner? I've got a confession to make as someone who loves sci-fi. I fell asleep during Blade Runner, and I think it was Blade Runner's. Also, a salmon died here. I think it was Blade Runner's fault, not mine. I know that is a hot take, round some parts, but I wanted to like Blade Runner so bad, but the movie gave me no reason to like it. I think I'm feeling this way about, you know, you mentioned Severance, right, Polly E? I haven't finished the newest episode yet, but it feels like sometimes there's like, I really am invested in your story. You're giving me so much of what I'm not here for right now, though. It's okay to have, like, you know, like, give me a backstory. Give me 10 minutes of backstory, even, you know, like, help me really flesh out this character. But when you're like, oh, yeah, you have to just sit here and watch someone wallow in their backstory for a bit, just so you, like, understand it a little extra. It's like, no, you are misunderstanding what your job is, TV. You can't make me miserable to try and make me happy. Is there any way to go below Bedrock and live? Also, let's go down and let's place that glass now, I think. Also, so let's go very carefully down. I don't believe there is a way to go below Bedrock and live. If you had enough firework momentum going down, you could probably come right back out. I definitely have done that on a clone of this world. Ooh, yeah, clone of the world, huh? Wonder if it has all the rights and feelings. Okay, so here is my Bedrock hole, chat. And I'm just going to place at the bottom here. Should I place some glass down, or do you think it ruins it? Chat. You know, I'm going to place some glass down. I think future me, if I fall through this or something, I'm going to be very glad that I have some glass down. So I'll leave it, I'll fill it in from all the corners. Oh, I've got exactly enough, huh? And then we'll leave these 2 blocks empty, I think. By leaving these blocks empty, I'll put like a ladder in there, maybe. Oh, you can't. Oh, it's a glass, that's why. Oh, God. I swear I heard a creeper, chat. Got very scared. So yeah, water can't make it out of the world. Nothing can make it out of the world. I can, if I need to get rid of items, say that I've got too much cobblestone, or, you know, let's say gravel, I can just say, screw it. Let's take that gravel. Let's throw it away. And it's gone forever, chat. Oh, it vanishes so quickly. Oh, yeah. Place the glass, your self-preservation history is not great. You know, that's a very valid point, chat. That's an incredibly valid point. So then I'm going to take the other bits of this. Oh. And I'm going to just place it, I don't know, like over here somewhere. This is 3 blocks high, so I'll just place 2 glass there. Great. Okay, now let's go up and let's work out how we're going to solve the problem of the water. I could just drain the river next to it, but that feels like a lazy solution. I have a void hole in my world too, I think, from a ruined portal that deleted some bedrock. Oh yeah, I forget that was a real thing that happened for a while too. It's not a terrifying hole if there's something to catch you. Yeah, I feel like the little middle blocks there means that you can't ever be 100% sure. But hopefully... And also, if I die, I'm still going to lose some items. So it might be the worst of both worlds. Is the hole no longer terrifying? Also, can you swim down through the hole below bedrock and then back up? No. Once you go below bedrock, there's nothing. Fireworks don't work. I haven't tested that one in a while, actually. Do fireworks work below bedrock? They didn't for the longest time. But bedrock fixes a lot of bugs in the background, I find. So if you're not explicitly paying attention, you might miss it. But yeah, I'll see. So let's now go to bed. Also, yeah, I think Severance is a really interesting version of the clone thing, because it's not actually cloning yourself. It's like splitting your brain into multiple personalities. The idea in Severance, if you haven't watched it, everyone in my life is like, yeah, love Severance, watching it a bunch. You should watch it, by the way. I'm impressed at how much it's like captured the cultural zeitgeist. But yeah, what I think is really interesting about Severance is the idea is that if you can sever your brain, so you have two distinct personalities. One of your personalities will be activated when a switch is triggered. In the case of Severance, it's when you go between floors in their building. And so the idea is that you can go to work, and your work self is a separate personality. And so outside you never needs to know what inside you is up to. So for you going to work, you show up to the office at 9 a.m. or 8:52 or whatever, because they have to stagger their exits. And then you just, boop, it's 5 p.m. It's like you worked, but you never had to go through any of the actual emotional effort. And it's sold as like a really great thing. Apparently everyone in the world actually hates it and finds it to be like disgusting, but that's a different point, I think. Okay, so how do I deal with this, chat? I'm just gonna place down my sponge there and see what that does for me. The answer is honestly not a whole lot. Also, look, it drained up a lot of water, but it didn't... Is there something about sponges where if they reabsorb too quickly, they don't? Yeah, weird, chat. There's something in a sponge. Is it? It's got to be this biome, right? There's something about this biome that... Oh, it did eventually go wet. Huh. Very confusing. Very strange. So yeah, all we have to do is actually stop the water from getting in. And if we stop the water from getting in, it can't flow out. So how do I stop water from getting in here? Well, here seems like a great place to start. So I can't place a sign on the edge of that. So I'll place a sign over here. And then I'll place a sign on top of it. That does not seem to be very effective. Maybe if I like scoop the water out of the sign. Oh no, S. Okay, so I'm going to crouch and I'm going to... There we go. So that helps, but also not really. I think we have to put signs up there and just all along this. Make a big wall of signs. And that should do something great. But yeah, yeah, subscription services like Netflix are meant to be cheaper options to video stores. And now Netflix has predatory pricing. This is one of my most common rants that everyone disagrees with. And so that's why I'm going to share it with you again now, chat. I think everyone feels a little peeved when prices for things go up, right? Understandably so. I don't want to pay more for anything than I have to. And I think it's weird if your goal is like, yeah, I just spent $6 on milk yesterday. Wish I'd spent 12. If that's you, great. But I think that a lot of people do think that way, but like not really. I think that you would like to spend $12 on milk if it were better than the $6 milk, right? I think you would be upset if the milk went down to $3, but the milk got worse at the same time. I think in every market we actually have different preferences. In some places we wouldn't mind the quality of things going down if the price went down too. In some places we wouldn't mind if the price went up if the quality went up. But basically, the easiest way that you can gain market share is to have low prices and high quality. If you have low prices and high quality, anyone who wants your product will be like, oh, this is a great product at a low price. And so people call it enshittification when slowly, over the last 5 years, investors are like wanting the money back from all of those investments. Because people, you know, for the longest time, like the reason Uber is so cheap is because Uber would lose ridiculous amounts of money on every ride. The reason that Netflix was so cheap is that they spent a ridiculous amount of money making original content. Because, you know, like they used to be able to get all of their content for cheap, and the studio started charging them more money for it. So they figured, okay, we're not going to have this for long. We'll have to... Basically, they became a production studio, and to offset those production costs, their idea is, we can make this money from people. Nowadays, you can sort of argue that they're doing it to, like, be a more profitable company. But in general, every company takes money that it makes. You know, you have to spend it on some things. And either that is paying back the people who allowed you to make the investments in the first place, or it is using that money to make more investments. And so the actual complaint people have is, oh, I want to buy $6 milk, but I want it to cost $4 because it used to cost $4 before. And I think the real kind of... Also, you can get a cheeseburger at any price you want. The quality correlates surprisingly loosely. Ooh, I think I disagree with that one, actually. I think the quality of a cheeseburger correlates pretty decently to the price. But it also proves that there is a second layer of quality, which is how much do you want. I think that there are many people for whom... I think fries are actually a better example of this. Like, the cheapest fries you can get at a McDonald's, and they are probably, for a lot of people, the best, because they perfected their niche. There's this idea, in my opinion, if you're really deep into evolutionary psychology... Wait, first, actually, have you heard about YouTube Premium Lite? Yeah, it's $8, but it doesn't go ad-free, just mostly ad-free. Oh, yeah, and you also can't download stuff in the background. I think the only reason that companies put out cheaper plans is because of the flaw in human psychology. That is what I've mentioned, where, again, you want $6 milk, you want it to cost $4. What if there was $4 milk and there was $6 milk, but you could see how bad the $4 milk was? Then you would understand why the $6 milk is the $6 milk. And obviously when it comes to, like, you know, like, YouTube Premium costs them nothing. There's an opportunity cost in showing you ads, and there's a cost in, you know, providing you with content for free. And there's a cost in that they have to pay the creators. I guess YouTube Premium actually does cost them something. But if you're curious, if you have YouTube Premium and you watch my streams, you're probably giving me substantially more money than if you were watching ads, because I get a cut of your YouTube Premium revenue. Fun fact, every time I mention this, people are shocked, but it is how it works. Now you know, the more we know. Can't we all be informed? Yeah, I need to grab a bunch of signs, by the way. So what are the easiest signs? I guess I could just make some more oak ones. Yeah, I guess I'll just do that. I've got plenty of oak. I do not have plenty of oak, but I'll make it work. But, so yeah, as I was saying, so make 44 of these, and then let's throw in our bamboo planks, and then let's grab 19 of these. Let's combine them together to make 21 signs. If 21 signs doesn't do it, I don't know how many we'll need, but it's clearly going to be too many. Okay, so, remember when the $5 footlong was a thing? Yeah, it's the saddest thing that they keep, like, having to do throwbacks to it. There's, you know, I want to talk about it so bad, but the fast food being expensive is one of my... Again, I'm like a big fast food lover, right? I've mentioned this. I don't know if this is actually common, and I'm the only one who will admit it, but fast food is some of the best food. It's not as good as fine dining in some aspects, but it's way better than fine dining in others. Like a McDonald's cheeseburger, the meat in that, or meat if you want to call it that or whatever, I think in some ways I prefer that to a A5 Wagyu steak. I think there is... the same with their fries, right? You can spend $10 on fries, but there's something about McDonald's fries that you'll just crave sometimes regardless. Similarly with like Five Guys, I think Five Guys Cajun fries, they're so good for like 10, and then I don't want any more. But like for those 10, it's so good. Or like sweet potato fries. I love 2 sweet potato fries. 2 is the right number. Whereas McDonald's fries, I feel like the right number is like a large portion. I wouldn't want 2 large fries, you know? But 1 large fries is great. And then I don't know, like if you give me shoestring fries, I think I could eat as many fries as you give me. I think if you gave me a bucket of fries, if you gave me a crisp bag and this was filled with fries, and they were the tiny, tiny, tiny ones, I would eat the entire thing and I would say, why don't you give me any more? So yeah, this is what my hole will look like from above, chat. It's a very nice hole, if you can spot it. Oh, I've got a parrot over here. By the way, if you're curious, these are my Whatsits, my Minecraft giant Whatsits. Why do these exist? Why do I have a nether portal on my Whatsits? I don't know. Oh my god, they're giant. Oh yeah, they're Whatsit giants, chat. Have you ever seen these before? Have you ever... I don't know how to give you a scale of this. It's like as big as a cigarette. It's bigger than a cigarette. Like it wouldn't fit in my mouth. So actually, would it? Would it fit in my mouth sideways? God. It just about fits in sideways. They're so big. It's like I become a baby again. This is the size. Okay, here's my finger. Here is the size of the, it's almost the size of a finger. Mmm. Okay. Mmm. Okay. So let's get back into this. Let's work out what signs we need here. Prawn cocktail is so good. I had a realization recently, which is prawn cocktail and sweet chili have a lot in common. Like, prawn cocktail is a surprisingly sweet flavor. It's like a Cheetos puff. For my North American viewers, a Whatsit is by Walker's. And I think it predates the Cheetos puff. I think a Cheetos puff is a knockoff of a Whatsit. Like, the UK, we used to be the best in the world at so much. And, like, obviously, but, like, in the 60s, we stopped being one of the global powers and started being a cute little island over there. But the 60s is also when we were at the peak of our crisp game. And so, like, what if you go to European countries, I'm sorry to say it, one of the ways in which Europe is a third world continent is crisp flavors. You get salt, you get paprika, and if you're lucky, you get salt and vinegar. I think I hear phantoms in real life, chat. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Anyway, no phantoms. I even though I just got back from my flight, I've been sleeping pretty decently. Jet lag's like hard to manage if you're not paying attention. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, we used to be. Europe is very bad at crisps. The UK is great. You know, Worcester sauce flavored crisps. Oh, how can you live your life without them? I think barbecue is one I'm starting to see more and more. But yeah, I've got to give it credit. You know, like give credit where credit's due. I think Canada is like 40% of the way to being a first world crisp country. If you've tried all dressed, that's kind of like a prawn cocktail vibe, but a little bit better in some ways. But like that's all they've got still. Like, you know, I think they've got tomato ketchup as a weird flavor. I don't know. And if you go to America, like America is land of the quirky. There is a million varieties of Oreo. There's a million varieties of any product you can name in America. Like there's something really fun. Minecraft does co-brands with American products. And whenever they do a co-branded American, like they did Nick's ice cream, I think. And so, because I was lucky to be living in the US at the time, they actually sent me one of each of their flavors as like, you know, like, oh yeah, you might promote our brand. And so what's interesting about their flavors is they had so many, chat. There were so many flavors of this Nick's ice cream stuff. Whereas in, you know, like I think the ice cream came out somewhere else in literally one flavor. So like, yeah, low-calorie Minecraft-flavored ice cream. Don't ask me how Minecraft flavor is an ice cream. Minecraft is a flavor, but it is. Billion flavors. But again, behind on the crisp game. All dressed, dill pickle, ketchup. Yeah, so Canada has 3 flavors that are unique and actually good. I don't know why it is that, I don't know why it is the rest of the world doesn't have the same. My actual theory is there's competition. Like, the UK had, like, a crisp war more or less. And so maybe that is a big part of where it all comes from. But still, I don't truly know. There's something in it. So now I need to take this water and I need to just pour it out. So take the water, pour it out. Take some water, pour it out. Take some water. Oh, I put an E on that sign. Pour it out. I've got a lot of E signs in my world chat. Okay, so then take this water. And if we do this enough times, we should eventually stop that water from coming through. I'm hoping that does in fact happen. There's only so many signs I've got to do here, right? It is weird that the signs have waterlogged at all, if you ask me. So I love Lay's original baked crisps. They're so good. Oh yeah, the baked ones are great. I don't even believe in the methodology of like, oh yes, we bake them, we do not fry them. I don't care about that. I just love the shape. I love the flavor, the texture. They're one of my favorite meal deal go-tos, if I'm being honest with you. Okay, so fast food. I do this thing where I finish a topic 80% and I jump to another one. I'm gonna try and collapse down the topics for a second here, chat. So okay, next up, let's talk about fast food. To go back one topic. So fast food in a lot of ways is better than fine dining, but someone in chat mentioned this. I'm sorry, I missed your name. The one downside is that fast food flavors are usually a bit simpler. So what it is the reason McDonald's is so good is because they work out one flavor and they nail that one flavor. And again, if you've had a McDonald's double cheeseburger, you'll know what that one flavor is. If you've had a Big Mac, you'll know it's their sauce. You know, like I guess you could argue KFC in their like their spice mix or whatever. Like every fast food nails one flavor. They nail one proposition and they spend millions on making it. And then their game is, can you make that as cheaply as possible, as many times as possible? Also, I think we have actually fixed the water. Okay, so now it's going to start going down, which means I should start going down. Okay, let's go. And because if we get down before the water's gone, then we should be able to reduce any risk of us falling through the void. So let's just stand out here for a second. Then let's get right back to it. Beautiful hexagonal shape. Oh yeah, the shape too is great. Have you studied your thumb lately? Check your thumb now. I'm gonna check my thumb now. I'm gonna do it from a very dodgy position, right over here. Okay, let's see what the thumbnail looks like. It's great. It's a very good. It's very good. Also apparently Dash is having an aneurysm trying to get me to see the thumbnail. Thank you, Shunt-Out. Now I know. Now I know. Time to use my first Toycat attack. Say I've been watching you for 11 years. Here's so many more. Much love from down over, says Frozewin. Thank you. That's very kind of you. It's very kind of you to say. Chat, what is this I just got on? Oh, this is my big terrifying hole. Hopefully that helps you understand what you're watching a lot better. So, I had my friend who was a McDonald's nerd. He told me in an interview with their head chef. He said they could have a big restaurant, but McDonald's is a challenge. I think I'd agree with that. Like, running a fancy place is challenging, but the thing that makes McDonald's impressive is that they can do everything they do with the margins they have. I looked up, so everyone knows that McDonald's is franchised. I looked up the biggest McDonald's franchise in London. Because I was at McDonald's at 2 a.m., you know, eating a, it wasn't a double cheeseburger, actually. It was, I think I got a 99p McPlant, or maybe a Big Mac. But I was eating my burger, was having, oh no, I got some chicken nuggets, too. Chicken nuggets and a McFlurry. Oh, good combo. Anyway, so I was eating my chicken nuggets and a McFlurry. And I looked on the receipt, and I was like, man, the amount of money that pours into this place must be crazy. But also, they need 2 security guards, multiple chefs. They need a person just to sway people into the restaurant. Because London is a big city, and all the McDonald's restaurants are in prime locations. And it means that literally I'm not being disingenuous to say that they probably take like 10 orders a minute. The order board is always like 40, like they have, you know how you can get like 12 orders on one side of the page? They have 12 orders, and then a different screen with 12. So there's so many people in this McDonald's, which means so much money is coming to the McDonald's. If the average person spends like £5 or £10 at McDonald's, the amount of money being spent in total is ridiculous. I had a double cheeseburger today, Russian edition. That is actually very fun to me, Dasher. You're gonna have to take a video of the McDonald's Russian menu for me. I would love to see that. Is McDonald's in Red Square still the biggest one in the world? No, it's not a McDonald's anymore, Dan. As you all know, as you probably know, the easiest way to be patriotic right now. They're so big. We used to have a bouncer in McDonald's, South Street Andrew McDonald's. Yeah, it's crazy that McDonald's needs a bouncer, but McDonald's needs a bouncer. I've not seen a McDonald's without a bouncer, but seeing the McDonald's with the bouncer makes me realize, ooh, this can get worse, huh? Anyway, though, I think the, I would love to see the Russian McDonald's menu. Yeah, same, right? I'm actively incredibly curious. So let's put this wet sponge back wherever I found it. I literally can't tell where there are holes in this design, chat. Oh, there it is. Wet sponge goes back. Then we'll break this block and just move it down one, I think. Oh no, that made that fall down. That's fine though. Then we place the sponge back over there. Then maybe another sponge over here. And then we'll put tough back wherever this one came from. Yep, looks great to me. It's so weird that pause was delayed when hardcore was allowed to release with full damage bugs intact. You know, Agent Mindstorm, I'm gonna level with you on this one. I hate when people jump to cynicism as their first retort. But I think if the add-ons enabling achievement thing comes out, which just to be clear would be great business, a lot more people will be willing to download Boss Blitz and any future add-ons if that is a true thing. But I think that if they throw that out there into the world, bearing in mind that they removed keep inventory on easy at the last minute, they just freaked out. They decided not to do it. Hey, thank you, Riggins Rally Go. Wow.
I caught the stream while you said a very innuendo-wise statement. Hi, chat. Missed you guys almost as much as Andrew.
I'll stick it in your endo. I hope that you are having a wonderful day, Riggins Rally Go. Oh, the hole. It's scary. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. And just in case we don't need bouncers in American McDonald's. Oh, no, you haven't been to the... To be fair, I think this is the difference. If you live in, like, nice America versus... let's just be honest. West Coast big city McDonald's. I have been... I think it was both LA and San Francisco. I've been to McDonald's where I was like, oh, over here McDonald's is a third world restaurant. You go into McDonald's and you are in a war zone. Do you want a bathroom code? No. There's someone has pooped in front of the door, and there is a very aggressive message about homeless people using their bathrooms. You are not allowed in there. They look like they were opened in the 90s and then they forgot to shut down. The hole isn't terrifying enough. Come on, who's with me? So here's the question. How do we make the hole even more terrifying than it is right now? I think it's plenty terrifying. But we could do more. We could dig this little section down here, right? I'm not sure if that actually helps it or not, though. I mean, I guess if we dug it down so far already. We could dig around some of that obsidian. But that also, it won't make the hole more terrifying, will it? We could dig the hole around it and then make it like a... But yeah, that sounds like the one at the Seattle Ferry Terminal. I've never been to the Seattle Ferry Terminal. Maybe I should. I really want to go to, I want to go to Vancouver Island again, Victoria. I hear it's just as easy to get there from Washington State as it is from Canada. I don't know if that's as true anymore. I hear you guys are having a bit of a trade war right now. But yeah, but yeah, there's some scary McDonald's in I'm very happy if your local McDonald's doesn't require a bouncer. But there are certainly McDonald's that do require a bouncer. My favorite McDonald's, actually, is there's one that's, like, literally on the Las Vegas Strip. It feels so out of the way, you just randomly walk past it, and you're like, oh. And whenever they do that $1 drink promotion, I have something... I think, actually, this is this is something that isn't just me, because of how, like, common it is. I love getting an ice cold fountain drink and paying basically nothing. I think, you know, I think we talk a lot of the time about rights. But I think in that case, that's one of those things where, like, I'm so grateful there is a giant corporation that is willing to, like, do whatever it takes to make sure that I can spend $1. The same is true for convenience stores. Like, have you ever been to a 7-Eleven? You hand them over $1 and they give you a drink this full of ice and delicious sugary liquid. It is amazing. I think there are moments in your life where there is nothing better than that. Toycat would regret seeing a American Waffle House at 2 in the morning. I want to go to Waffle House. It sounds like the stuff of legends. I bet it's got that McDonald's thing too, where they really have nailed their one flavor. Ultimately. Also, we demand sacrifice. The glass is making it too safe. Okay, let's unsafify the hole. Chat, I wanted to keep the hole safe, but we are making sure it is not safe anymore. You know, if I feel safe going over this thing, then that's a problem, right? I agree. You know, safety, be gone. So how much of my glass do you think I'm going to get back versus how much is going to get lost in the void? Okay, so, in the void forever. Okay, this one, hopefully I get back. Oh, it's in the void forever. This one, hey, I got 1 glass. That one's in the void forever as well. We'll go for this one next. Oh, I got 2 now. That's in the void too. Yeah, this is pretty rough, all things considered. Just losing a lot of glass forever. But I do think it looks better this way. I'll leave this one piece of glass here, though. So, chat, this is the most terrifying place I think I could be. I do not like it here at all. I'm going to remove these blocks, and I'm going to fly up into the sky. Whee! I'm going to fly right out of my giant hole. Honestly, it's actually pretty medium-sized. I've been saying the hole's giant. I think it's deep. I don't think it's particularly big. Anyway, then, yeah, I removed the glass from my hole, and I feel a lot better about it now. I think keeping that much glass on the hole was a poor idea. But now what we got is we've got a few spare leads. So let's see the effects of the hole on a live mob. So yeah, Waffle House food tastes like it always has too much vegetable oil. Yeah, vegetable oil is not even the good oil. Olive oil makes you live to 110. Random people will assure me, despite there clearly being nothing that makes that true. You know, peanut oil, you know, it just tastes good. Oh, I've tied the... You know, you can live here, I guess. You know, chat, if you join my world after the next world update, so yeah, my Let's Play world is available for download. If you join my world after I next update it, you can throw the cow into the void if you want to. Should you want to? 2013 to 2025. Yeah, it's a fun little... Wait, oh, there we go. So, yeah, it's a fun thing. Sometimes glass is the most comfortable thing for filling holes. I mean, making filling holes more comfortable to go into. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, Riggins Rally Girl, but I'm on board. I'm going with it. There's no way to say that one innocently. When chat says to throw steak in the void, this wasn't what I had in mind. It's better. So yeah, what I'll do actually, you know, can I tie this guy up? I cannot. Okay, so chat. You know, I've got a wandering trader, and he's not offering me the best of stuff right now. You're working night shift for 2 years at Waffle House, nothing to eat dinner there. 75% of those 2 years has ruined my health permanently. Do you think if you worked at a salad restaurant, your health would be permanently, you know, bonused? Is that a word? You know, it has to be now, I guess. I think I'm gonna have to put this guy in a boat. I don't think it's gonna be easy any other way. So the good news is I have no resources to make a boat. I don't like when villagers move the opposite way to how you're trying to move them. Like, I clearly know better than you about where you should be. Why don't we just listen to me? I'm the player character. I think I understand what's best for you, Mr. Villager. Well, Mudwing Trader. You know, is it rude to call him a villager? Did I get his... Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna nudge him across here, and then... Oh, no. Make sure you go down the hole. All the way down. Oh, okay. Okay. Good news, chat. The Wandering Trader went through the hole and is no longer alive, which means we can have another one. If we want to. In the future, though. Cheese oil is incredible for those who haven't experienced it. Every time I look at a video of cheese oil, it looks too bad for you. There's a problem when you have something where you feel sick watching it. You know, feeling sick eating something, that's like one of my favorite feelings, right? That's what we're here for. That's what we're out here looking for. But feeling sick when you watch something, when you see something, that's not a feeling that's desired. Feeling, you know, also, yeah, I think I should probably do something about this lava. But I also think that's future me's problem, so that's how it's gonna stay. This hole, though, I think I should move forwards a bit. It clearly... Oh, I don't have any possible way to do that. I'll switch out my pickaxe, and then I'll just start mining it. Because I think it'll... If this place is going to be like a trafficked area, I think this should be where the hole is at its deepest, or where my ravine... chat, if you don't know, my idea was I wanted to carve a giant slice out of my Xbox 360 sized world. And so that's what this is right here. Let's carve that slice. Let's do it. New Nitbit Villager disposal method. It is true. You don't often get a way to throw them right into the void. It is very nice. Chili oil is awesome, says Jeremy McLeroy. Oh, chili oil is a bit of a misnomer, right? I think it's chili flavored oil. I think you put the chili in the olive oil or whatever. I'm not sure what oil they would put it in. I could be wrong. They could be they make it from chilies. But I've got this truffle oil. But again, it's just truffle infused Spanish something or other. I don't know what the something or other is. Anyway, how many chunk errors do you have in this world? You would be surprised at the answer to that question. You would be surprised. So, chili crisp oil is delicious. Is that the stuff you get at Asian restaurants? It sounds like the stuff you get at Asian restaurants. Add some skulk around the hole. You know, it would make sense to like make it look deep darky. I think that's a fun idea. That's definitely a very fun idea. I didn't know Toycat had a hole. Do you know most humans have at least 7 holes? It's a fact you might not have thought about, but it is true. You have lots of holes right now. You just haven't thought about it. You know, if you had no holes, you would die in less than a minute. But I have enough holes to keep me alive for a lifetime. I want to look at the thumbnail again. It's so beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna look at the thumbnail again. It's very lovely. It's beautiful, chat. We've never made a thumbnail this good. That's for sure. But yeah, so fast food, I think fast food is simple, but also that's what makes it great. I think, like, some of the... I don't know if anyone else has ever done this, but I sometimes, like, I think it's, like, not Ooh. I don't think it's, like, horrifically abnormal to go to a fast food place and to take the food and then, like, take it apart. Like, I hope this isn't abnormal, at least. But yeah, I used to get a McDonald's double cheeseburger, and then I would, you know, like, take apart the buns, eat the buns, then eat the burger, then eat the other buns. Like, I feel like that's proof that, like, if people are doing that, that's a sign your food is too complicated, right? If people have to take it apart to appreciate the individual components, maybe the food, maybe the McDonald's double cheeseburger is too complicated. That's my hot take. I'm gonna hack into your world and fill up your hole. How many holes does a straw have? Says Adam Sony. Oh, that's a good question. I take the answer as 2. You have 1 entry hole and 1 exit hole. but you could argue it's one continuous whole. But I think that, like, if you think about it this way, right? Like, this hole is clearly one big hole, right? But you could also argue it's two, you know, is there two holes here, or is it one hole? Is there a surface hole in it? So you eat a burger like a psychopath? Yeah, that's how I'm gonna eat your brains too, Mr. Chromabyss. I'm gonna disentangle all the... Are brains made of, like, lots of bits? Or is it just, like, chunks of one piece of matter? Yeah, I don't know the answer. Also, I have to go now, but I want to give you a little bit of money off my bank account first. Thank you for the bank account money, Battery Brains. I love bank account money. You know what I do with it? I buy things using my bank account. It becomes my bank account money. And then I buy lobster rolls with it. And giant Cheetos. Also, wait, I have a chance to bag a trip to Hollywood if I just go to this website. Do I want to go to Hollywood, chat? That's the question. Toycat eats a cheeseburger like an Oreo. Oh yeah, good point actually. You should take it apart and then rub the pieces together to get that true Oreo effect. You've never had beef brain? Mexican places have them sometimes. Oh, I have had beef brain. You're right. Oh. Yeah, that makes me uncomfortable. You know, there's this kind of fun thing, right? Like, if you think about the vegan ideology, it's this idea of, like, we are animals, these are animals. As an animal, I will choose not to eat another animal. Effectively, like, choosing to be a herbivore. Because, like, have you ever looked at, like, carnivore animals? Outside of cats, they're all pretty mean. Yeah, I mean, I think let's just go ahead and say it. Cats are mean, but we forgive them because they are cute. But, like, have you ever seen, like, I've been watching this live stream chat of these eagles, and it's like everyone's like finding the eagles to be so cute because they've just given birth to like some eggs, and everyone's like, oh, aren't they so cute? But they bring home like a dead duck every day. They kill a cute animal every day just to feed their babies, and it's like, wouldn't the utilitarian position here, right? If I thought someone was really cute, if you go out to the bar and you meet a cute girl and she says, hey, just so you know, I've killed 3 people today, and I'll kill 3 people tomorrow, and I'll keep doing that till I'm caught. I think you have a moral duty to do something about that. I think that to go, you know, like I'm gonna give you a controversial one here. I think that if she makes you swear you won't tell anyone about it, I think if you promise in good faith that you will not, I think it's your responsibility not to tell someone. But if she tells you that, I think you got to get away before she makes you promise, and you've got to be like, okay, so she said she's going to this neighborhood. She's going to the Seattle ferry terminal tomorrow. I'd better go there. I've got to do something about this murderous woman. Also, Mighty Eagle confirmed. How many viewers did the Eagle have on his stream? Oh, the Eagle was blowing me out of the water, Dasher. The number, like, how many? I think we have literally 100 times fewer viewers than the Eagle. I think this Eagle killing its ducks every day. Yet people demonize animals and herbivores, i.e. goats. Who has ever demonized a goat, Hannah Joys? Who has? In what world have you been on like the goat racism like part of the internet where people are like, oh yeah, the reason that the price of, you know, like the reason we've got a struggling economy, it's not the president, it's goats, those bastards. I saw them messing with the interest rates yesterday. But yeah, I think we like to pretend there's more of a dichotomy for animal diets. But here's the thing, right? I think the logic of like don't kill, to me, doesn't apply to my body, my human animal squishy meat bag. It applies to my brain. My brain is me, right? You know, there's that funny meme of like, what's the best organ in the body? And the brain always picks the brain, you know? Like, we were sitting there being like, yeah, we're #1. Like, we think we're the most important organ. You right now, you watching this, you think you're watching this as a human being laying there, or potentially sitting there, or potentially standing there. But you're laying there and you're like, oh, I am a human. Look at my body parts. I have a mouth and a nose and some. No. You are a brain that has access to those things. In the same way that I am playing Minecraft right now, I am not Minecraft. I am not a ocelot in a game with a pickaxe. I make believe that I am because it is easier for my brain to comprehend that I am moving forwards and backwards. But no, I am moving a stick forwards on my controller so that my character will move forwards. It's not me that is moving forwards. The same is true for that. The brain is the only organ that named itself. Totally agree. We are the organ that makes the decisions. And so I think that, you know, eating another animal's eyes or whatever, yeah, that's weird. But eating another animal's brain, that's that's cannibalism. Brain on brain action is not okay. I think we should specifically not be going for the brain. And I feel a little bit concerned that there are people who are pro eating. Also, how did they pick up my cobblestone? Oh, I've got it back apparently. So yeah, disassociation is how I'm not gonna gaslight myself. Disassociation is how I gaslight myself into thinking I'm not in physical pain. Oh yeah, I think it's like one of the most useful talents you can have, is being able to like turn off the is this me or is this my body trick. Let me show you right now. I'm gonna. Oh, it hurts, but it's not me. It's my body. It's fine. It's happening over there. You know, you make the sensation one of those, and it goes away. I pinched myself, chat. I've got a little break in the skin over there. We're bone mechs and meat armor. Exactly. This association is scary. Been through a lot lately. Bad mental health problems. I'm really sorry to hear that, Riggins Rally Girl. I think the truth is people do dissociate in normal circumstances as well as unhealthy ones. Like, ideally, you wouldn't ever dissociate, right? But also, ideally, you wouldn't ever be in, like, so much physical pain that you feel like you need to. I think it's also really good for, like, mental pain. I think the reason that people do it is because when you're going through something, like, particularly rough, I think it's useful just to, like, tell yourself, accurately or not, like, that is happening to someone else, it's not me. I think, okay, you know, I looked into, I think one of the most fascinating, disorders in the world is multiple personality disorder. There's a lot of names for it, so I'm definitely not using the correct one because it's one of those that I think there are very few people in the world who have it. A lot of people picture multiple personalities as like, oh yeah, I'm smiling one day and I'll kill you the next. But I think what it is like at some point during your childhood, if you go through something traumatic while your personality is forming, it like doesn't form correctly. Like we like to believe babies have personality, but I just saw a baby recently, chat. That baby had no personality. If I asked that baby, you know, what does it think about eating brains? Definitely, you didn't pinch yourself, your body did. Oh, my body is such a pile of work. I'm gonna make sure my body feels the punishment for this one. You better believe I'm gonna be punishing my body later. Went to the ER about a week ago, getting better now. I'm sorry to hear, Riggins Rally Girl. It sounds very serious. Yeah, I think that what happens when you're really young. Like, I watched a really fun video recently, chat. It was called Stacking Cups While My Parents Argue About Divorce in the Other Room. And everyone found it to be the most relatable thing ever. And I was like, oh, that's fun. Like, I've heard the number of times I used to hear my parents yell at each other. And it'd be over the dumbest stuff. It would be over, like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, also, it's so weird the way bees work. But it would always be, like, over the dumbest stuff. And I'd always be like, a little. I'd always hear it and be like, oh, yeah, this is, you know, it's you know, this is a negative space to be in. And so I feel like if you're old enough, you can just be like, yeah, they're like that. It's their problem, not yours. But when you're young enough, you're like, oh, yeah, like, is this, you know, like you internalize it a little bit. Like, is this me? Am I there? You know, like, I feel like it's almost like a very aggrandizing, like, belief of like, oh, maybe I am the reason this is all happening. But Yeah, stacking cups while Toycat makes me question my life in the background. Yeah, so the thing is like, I think everyone, like, sees something terrible and they instinctively dissociate a little bit. Like, you go, yeah, this isn't happening. Let me go into a happy place in my brain. And if you go into a happy place in your brain while you're young enough, while your personality is forming, I think it forms into lots of different bits in a way that is probably not... Also, I don't think I want to smelt up my raw iron. Yep, I don't think I do. I think I want to put this in the chest over here. I've seen so many people discussing their divorce coping mechanisms. I always feel bad for them. They talk like it's normal. You know, okay, I saw an interesting post today on the internet. Might have been a tweet, I'm not sure. But it was, I thought it was really, really, really interesting because it was someone being like, oh yeah, when people talk about how marriages used to be so stable, what they're ignoring is the fact that, like, women couldn't own bank accounts until 1973. And, you know, as a savant of the world, I can tell you there's, like, a bit of truth to that, but it's actually kind of misleading. Like, women could own bank accounts before 1973. I think it's, like, the actual thing. I think what it actually is, like, they couldn't be, like, held responsible for the charges on it, so it had to be joint with something. But it's still the same enough point that, like, women could not be were not seen as financially independent before that point. And so what people saw as, like, a happy marriage of your grandparents is probably your grandmother desperately wanted to leave your grandfather, but then couldn't because what would she do? Like, she effectively needs his permission to leave, which is terrifying, right? But then also, this is why there's, like, the complicated thing in the world of, like, you know, would your parents have been worse off or better off if you're, I think a lot of people, you know, like, I think this is a experience enough other people have, like, if your parents didn't divorce, is thinking, like, maybe my parents should have divorced. Maybe my parents would be happier if they weren't together. And so, yeah, I wonder how many people would feel that, you know, better or worse if it were that way. I've always kind of held the belief, like, if I'm managing my own life, right, if I'm in charge of that you should be ideally with someone because you want to be and not because you have, like, the way it works with everyone in my life right now, chat, is the way it is like, if you are it's mostly one-sided even, like, for anyone who is you know, like, any employees we have, the way it works is like, yeah, if we have work to do together, let's finish that work, but you can leave at any time. I would like for you to stay. I will put some effort into that if you'd like it, but I feel like, you know, the whole, like, if you love something, let it free. I think that, you know, something loves you if you let it free and you let it go free and it flies back, right? I don't tell my friends at the end of every social gathering, just so you know, I've stolen all your credit cards and you can have it back by attending the next time, you know, like, the next time we hang out together, I'll give you your credit card back. Although, actually, I have a funny story related to that, chat. Once, I was, once when I was, like, 20, I told my friend, I think my friend was like, I don't remember what it was. Like, I think he had just gotten paid for something, and we were struggling with some form of payment, and I was like, I tell you what, I'll give you all of the cash that I have. I have 120 pounds. If you give me your debit card for the night. And it was like a really silly thing, because, like, the basic question there was like, could I spend more money on his debit card than the money I'd given him in cash? I don't think I could. I don't remember what the actual amount was. I remember that I spent less than it, but also that I lost his debit card that evening, and so we both actually ended up losing that game. I don't know why I wanted to tell that story, chat. I just figured you might enjoy it. That's a healthy way of managing work relationships. Yeah, I think my biggest struggle, actually, is kind of the inverse of, like, how do you, like, I think I might be one of the, like, most chill people to work with in a bad way. I think a lot of people like rigidity, deadlines, set, I do this work at this time, whereas sometimes, you know, like, for a lot of stuff, it's like, yeah, Well, if there's, you know, like, ultimately, this is going to go up when there isn't a video to go up that day. So just do it for, you know, like, soon, maybe. I think so many people are happy if you're like, do it by Wednesday. I probably won't upload it till Friday or Sunday, but do it by Wednesday. I think people love that much better than, yeah, maybe Friday, maybe Sunday, as an example. I think there's a lot of other things where I'm working out that people, like, I don't know, like, there's a lot of dumb work structures where people feel happier that way. You know, here's a fun one, chat. So, have you ever, so I learned this from watching the Bellatra thing recently, right? There was, the guy who made Bellatra, if you don't know, he's Canadian, I think, from Manitoba, or he's one of the, he's from a weird part of North America you don't expect him to be. And, also, what do I do with this food? So, what's really interesting is, like, holiday pay and maternity pay are kind of scams. And I know I'm a self-employed person saying that, so you think, like, oh, look at Mr. Business Owner over here thinking that basic rights are a scam. But also they are, right? Like, any money that a business can pay you, they should give you directly. They shouldn't give it to you in a weird form of, if you have a child, we'll give you some money. They should give you more money and then you can save it if you want to have your own child. Or, indeed, holiday pay is another one where I'm like, isn't it kind of dumb that we do it this way? Like, instead of paying you... In the UK, you get 4 weeks of holiday a year, and your employer pays you effectively 4 weeks less, so that when you go on holiday, you get paid. But it's not that you're getting paid to go on holiday, because you're not providing value. You're getting paid... Anyway, I can rant for a long time about this, and I'm not gonna make any friends on it, because... I think one of the most interesting things that I heard recently is this idea that, like, there is no one... Once you exist... There are some things that have no logic, but that people love anyway. Like, you know, the McDonald's fries. Like, they're not objectively better in any way, but also they're so much better. Yeah, no one is from Manitoba. Have you ever heard that they are? So, yeah, I think, the idea of, like, a lot of things like that is, like, everyone kind of dislikes the... I think everyone would ask if you were like, oh yeah, would you like to be paid 5% more? Or would you like me to take that 5% and put it in a savings account so that when you want to do something, we can have that? I think everyone would say, like, yeah, don't treat me like a child. But actually, I think we have this little part of that's like, oh yeah, I would kind of like that. It's the same thing with, like, certain forms of, like, government subsidy, right? Like, there are lots of ways... Okay, I picked up the shulker box. There are lots of ways that things seem cheaper because they're just being crazy subsidized. The easiest example of that is roads. I think everyone knows that roads are just paid for by the government, and therefore driving is a lot cheaper than it otherwise would be. And some people say to themselves, like, well, but you pay like a... I'm diving into too long of a rant, but I have to stick the landing here now, chat. But like, yeah, the example of roads is like, yeah, every road is paid for by the government. Which doesn't mean that it's free, it means that you just already paid with your taxes. Not just the taxes on your petrol or whatever, but also your income taxes go into building new roads, partially because you need goods delivered on those roads, but partially because the government knows that you're happy when you have a road you can drive onto to get anywhere you want to go. And so, but if they charged you up front for that road instead, you'd be outraged. You are effectively being charged giant amounts every year, but because it happens in the background and you don't think about it, you're not shocked. This is why Netflix can get away with raising their prices from, like, it was like $10 a month to like $20, is because you do it by $1 each time and people go, $11 is worth it, $12 is worth it, $13 is worth it. But if you went straight from 10 to 20, everyone would cancel. Like, we have this, like, there's like a certain amount of money where we effectively don't care, not any substantial amount. And then there's an amount of money where we care a lot. And we're really, really bad at the thing in between. I think we're really... I think economics has, like, areas of irrationality. Oh, here's another example, actually. I picked this up recently. So, have you ever been with someone and they won't stop for petrol because it's too expensive? But if you actually measure the difference between, like, $4.15 and $4.25 petrol per gallon, like, it actually works out to being, like, $1 for an entire tank. You're effectively shopping around. You're not going to the gas station you want to go to. You're going to one you don't because it is $1 cheaper. But then also people will spend so much money on lots of things that give them no value. That's why YouTube Premium has never felt tempting. Oh, YouTube Premium has so many subscribers, though. I think there is a surprising number of people, even like viewers of this channel, they're like, yeah, I don't really use YouTube Premium. And to be clear, I have an interest in saying you should get YouTube Premium. Like I've mentioned, I get paid more if you have it. So like, I'm just going to talk for myself as a consumer, and you can hopefully trust me. But YouTube Premium is like the best deal out there. If you watch a lot of YouTube, and of course you watch a lot of YouTube, if you watch a ton of YouTube, YouTube Premium is great. YouTube Premium is so good. It is amazing the value that you get. I watch YouTube every single day, and I haven't had ads in so long. I don't know that I understand what an ad looks like anymore, to be honest with you, chat. I honestly, like, yeah, I miss out on the idea of video ads because of it. I think I've gone to the point now where I see too few ads in my internet consumption. I watch YouTube so much more than I watch Netflix. Would I pay $20 to remove the ads from Netflix? Yeah. If it was like as many ads as I would see for a similar session on YouTube, wouldn't you? I have Premium. I hate commercials in video and YouTube Music. Oh, YouTube Music has ads too? I didn't even know. Again, I literally... I think this is one of those things, though, where, like, I've now used YouTube Premium for so long, I don't even know that it costs money. Like, or rather, I should... That's not what I mean to say. I do know it costs money. It's really expensive. It's £20 a month. I have a family plan. Like, I pay £240 a year. Do you know how many cheeseburgers... I could get a lobster roll every month, but instead I get a YouTube Premium subscription. I like the ads. Wait, Netflix has ads. Wait, Netflix has ads, David? You have ads on your Netflix? What, like... I didn't know that was a tier of Netflix. I heard they've been playing around with the idea forever, but I didn't think they'd actually done it. Those mad lads. Anyway, I'm subscribed to Spotify after I got YouTube Premium because YouTube Premium makes Spotify useless. Yeah. The truth is once you have YouTube Premium, Spotify is just throwing money away. I see too few ads. This is such a ridiculously privileged statement. Yeah. I have become so privileged and out of touch. And you know what it cost me? 1 subscription. We live in a world where there's a subscription for everything. I got a subscription to the most valuable service on the internet, YouTube. And I think, I don't think they've got the most subscribers, but they have 100 million, 129 million, I think they said today. YouTube has so many premium subscribers. I think they make probably just as much money from their premium business as they do their ad business. And that's really, really good for creators. It's really, really good for YouTube. You know, like they're making it out well from that too. Everyone benefits from YouTube, you know, being a better platform, I think. Also, I get so many adult beverage commercials on stream. Should we go raw dog some YouTube and watch some ads together, chat? Do you wanna, like, I can use my my second channel doesn't have YouTube Premium. Do you wanna go and see some ads? Is there like a YouTube channel I can go to that's just ads? Maybe I could watch it with YouTube Premium. Ads. I'm just gonna search ads on YouTube. Well, that's not very useful, is it? I guess we could open an incognito tab. Yeah, let's open an incognito YouTube tab and let's watch some ads together, chat. You excited to watch some ads together? I hope you're excited to watch some ads. Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to probably close Minecraft. You know, I don't need to close Minecraft. We'll look at the British. Actually, let me get my, if I'm gonna be technically AFKing in Minecraft, let's get my bamboo farm running again. This is ludicrously useful for repairing my tools, by the way. I don't know, it's never functioning correctly. I need to just keep throwing more minecarts onto it until eventually it works. If I have enough minecarts, eventually it will always be working, right? They'll always be bumping into each other. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm just gonna sit in this little corner here. And while we sit in this little corner, let's watch some YouTube ads together, chat. Are you excited? Is this like poverty tourism or whatever it's called? I don't see many British ads. This might be fun. Oh yeah. Let's watch some ads together. So, okay, is this working correctly? It looks like it might be. Okay, so try searching to get started. What should I search? Oh, I've never been on a fresh YouTube install like this. So I'm gonna search for consumer electronics. I would love to see an ad for those. Download Chrome. Oh, I'll click the sponsored. Oh no, that's a. Wait, that's not even a. It's not even a video. It's a download button. 24 things I saw at CES. You know, I'll watch some Minecraft music. Minecraft music remix. I love Minecraft Pixel remixes by Minecraft. Oh, I didn't get an ad, chat. I wanted an ad. Okay, Minecraft theme.
Get
oh, here we go.
24-hour lotion soft skin from your body wash. Dove Advanced Care.
Do we have Dove?
So when I went to sleep, my jewels were here. And when I woke up, gone. The night's morning and I have an espresso coffee.
I mean, yeah, this ad isn't compelling to me. I think I'd rather have ads that are like tailored to my interests. Do we have to sit here and watch enough ads until they get good? Okay, so let's watch this ad and see if we get an ad on the way to the
Cheap
ad.
family holiday hacks. This way.
Okay.
We get it. The post-Christmas lull is here, but the kids deserve a getaway.
Yeah, the
We've
kids
got
do
the
deserve a
booking hacks
getaway.
and budgeting tips you need. And the best one? There's up to £300 off right now in the TUI sale.
Oh, that's a good budgeting technique.
TUI.
You ever want to save money? Just buy a flight, and if you get £300 off, it's basically saving money. That's good. But ooh, we got new secrets I learned on TikTok. No, that's not a good video. C418 Sweden, cautious and man, I'm just not getting enough ads, chat. Come on, give me an ad. How is anyone out here complaining about ads? I'm trying to get them. I want to give me an play ads 24/7. That's got to be a chat. Yeah, playing ads for 24 hours. Playing every game ad for I bought 100 mobile game ads. YouTube ads be like Nikkei Asia, 3 things to know. YouTube ads be like,
Hey
okay.
guys, it's Josh. What's posh? Here's my favorite number. You guys are gonna love this one. Did your daddy never scrub you? I couldn't afford.
I don't get it. Chat, how does anyone ever hate ads? I got 2 ads, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get another one. I think it's meant to be a minimum 7 minutes between them.
Tending a garden can be hard work, especially when you're in your golden years, like me. That's why I use...
Oh, this is a real video. I can't watch it. I'll get in trouble. Yeah, I don't understand, chat. I think if YouTube ads are bad for you, skill issue. I want to, popular UK ads 2025. Is how do I see these? Okay, DFS winter sale.
It's that time of year again.
Oh, they're shaking their bum. It's funny. Makes me want to buy a sofa, you know?
With hundreds of things on sale right now, let your bum find its thing.
A marketing company got paid tens of thousands of pounds for this ad. And I don't even know what they thought they were going for.
With hundreds of things on sale right now.
If DFS paid me £10,000 and said, we really want people to know about this DFS sale, and I had a 30-second segment in my video that looked like that, do you know, I think they might cancel the contract. I think they might take back their money. We need Toycats to make his own fake ads for videos so YouTube Premium members can feel included too. Yeah, I don't understand. Investigations done proper. You know, let's watch some popular UK ads, nostalgic ones. Nostalgic British TV. So this is from my childhood, chat. I bet they're not good either though. Yeah, it used to be fun watching the ads. Honestly, it used to be annoying. You'd watch a show and you'd be like, I can't wait for the ads to start again. This feels like brain rot. This feels like brain rot.
I want some crusher, a little crusher, milk kicks me.
This is the worst tasting drink in the world, by the way.
I want some crusher, a glass of crusher. It's tough enough to make milkshake.
It was so bad. It was awful. It did not taste like good. Oh, we had to change the music.
Super, Ralph. Let's do that.
Oh, yes, we could be in for a quintessential tango taste sensation here.
Okay, do you think I'll get another ad yet, chat? I've gone through enough bad. Okay, come on. Oh, no ad. It's hard to watch ads. You were born in the 90s, says Un Perrier. I am sorry if I've just given away my age. Okay, you know what? They spent all their money on marketing. Yeah, watching ads is hard, chat. I don't know, like, you know, if you think to yourself there are too many ads on YouTube, I think it's a skill issue. I think it's a skill issue. I think if I'm actively trying to look for ads and they won't give them to me, then you are going through a problem. Okay, so let's plant our bamboo. I don't know why our things get so close together like that. And then let's say, actually wait, I've got one more thing I want to do today. I want to go and look at my destroyed trial chamber, because I'm not actually 100% sure. If I'm being entirely honest with you, chat, I don't actually know where I keep my. I don't know where I keep my my copper that I got from mining it. You literally watched a bunch of non-monetized videos. You might be onto something there. Wait, how do you know those videos weren't monetized? That's not true. Also, are you streaming tomorrow? I've got a friend's birthday party tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, I'm going running in 12 hours, chat. It's terrible. No, there's no way I'm going running in 12 hours. I'm meant to be going running in 12 hours, chat. That thumbnail is nightmare fuel. That's not even the best Crusher ad. There's one with a catchier song. I hate bad products when they advertise to you and you're like, oh, you make the point of advertising is for you to, you know, find new products that you don't know about that are good. Whenever a bad product advertises, that's when you fall out of love with the whole advertising ecosystem. That's when you go, what if all ads are lies? Speaking of ads, did you know if you go to the marketplace right now, you can get your hands on a brand new add-on? No, more seriously, I want to mention this because I'm thinking, chat, I think I want to start a new series. Now that add-ons are going to be part of base Minecraft survival, I think we should play through, I think it would be fun for us to do a boss blitz playthrough with all of the mobs. So I think that's what we'll be doing on the next stream, probably on like Monday. Cabbage Patch Kids had a very catchy song, dang it. I do not know the Cabbage Patch Kids song. Also, I'm gonna go to IBX Toycat channel. We can see if we get an ad. IBX Toycat. Oh, I got an ad. It's for Community Fiber though. Okay, you know what? Do you want to see it together, chat? I'll get out of the Nether. I'll get in a nice unspooky spot. So this is my destroyed bastion. This is where it lives in these chests here. But let's go watch an ad together, chat. Okay, so here we go. This is an advert for internet, by the way. If you're curious. Was that it? I got one ad? One ad? That's all? Oh. Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and I clearly picked the right day to come. Fun. Anyway, I hate the fact that they use these textures for all of their official advertisements, but it's not even available in the marketplace. Marketing something you can't get as a console player. Oh, that's fun. That's a really good point, though. Isn't it insane that Minecraft markets their game using a texture pack? When you really think about it, right? Isn't it insane that they don't just use gameplay for, you know, okay, let's get aside the point now. I'm about to beat the End Dragon and go to the end. I've never beaten it. Any tips? My biggest tip would be try not to die. My second biggest tip would be definitely do not die. And my third biggest tip, I don't have a third biggest tip. So my trial chamber must be that way. Or is it that one, chat? No, that's going to be my trial chamber because that's aged copper and that's a fresh trial chamber. So we go this way diagonally. Yeah, I think I know the way. I think I know the way. You should watch your own stream. You'll get more ads that way. Oh, let me check something actually. Yeah, I'm going to watch my own stream. And I'm going to hit that give ad button. And I'm going to see if it gives me an ad. So right now I'm going to hit the insert ad button. Yeah, I think I know the way. Okay, I've hit insert ad. I'm going to see if me gets an ad now. Oh, let me check something actually. Yeah, I'm going to watch my own stream. And I'm going to hit that give ad button. And I'm going to see if it gives me an ad. So right now I'm going to hit the... This is so delayed, by the way. Okay, I've hit insert ad. I didn't get an ad. The button is a lie. This is me trying to get an ad, not being able to, chat. Okay. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. Brings big salmon for good luck. Do you think a big salmon would give me any luck? Do you think I need any luck where I'm going? It's like they've disliked vanilla. It's so strange. Yeah, it is very strange. It's very strange. The classic streamer bit. Love watching my own stream until I watch my own stream. What else do you need? I have ad blocker. I don't blame people for having ad blocker. I almost don't blame you for not turning off on YouTube, because you're effectively getting a YouTube Premium subscription for free. But knowing the economics of how it works is why I do blame you a little bit. Like, I would fault you a little bit for saying that an ad blocker... Like, I don't know, it's one of those things, like... And the ideal ad blocker would be one that says, you are about to be advertised to. Would you like to, yes or no? Rather than you turn it all off or you turn it all on. You know what I'm saying? So I think there are lots of cases where you'd be like, oh yeah, this is a good place. The person who wrote it should make, 0.3 cents from it. This is a good YouTube video or a good Twitch stream. Maybe the person making it should make their... Because let's be honest, most people who have ad blockers don't use whitelists extensively. I think that's why it's a bit of a problem. Yeah, we had a funny thing actually. So there's a pirated copy of my add-on out there. And so we have the power to just remove that from the internet, right? But it's also something I don't feel comfortable doing. Solely because I... Also, wow. I didn't realize how many shulker boxes I had here that I haven't dealt with correctly. Oh, I didn't realize I'd also written down how many of each block that I got. That's very fun. So this is where all the blocks are, chat. Where about in my Minecraft world is this? I don't actually know the answer to that. Are we like near the Sky Islands? Or are we not? It's a good question. I don't know the answer. Also, should we come in here and kill all the mobs? I think that could be fun. I hate how proud people are of using ad blockers. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things... I think a lot of society kind of relies on this idea that, like, you have the freedom and ability to do anything, but there are still some things which are not classy. I think it's, like, a shocking amount of, like... I think, I don't know, like, it's kind of like pseudo-religion that's built into Western society, is that we have to say there are some things we will actively prevent you from doing, but that list is very small, and most things, even if we don't like you doing it, we will not actively prevent you from doing it. Are these strays, by the way? No, they're just skeletons. Like, I don't know, I think the piracy thing is an example of that. I think using an ad blocker is, like, actually kind of required on the internet these days. But then, like, being proud that you never turn it off is just saying, I expect to use everything for free and never... Like, a similar version of this is, I don't know if you're on the same degenerate corners of the internet as me, internet. But a lot of people are really proud of not paying their, you know, not paying their fare on public transport. They're like, buses should be free, and so I will get on the bus for free. The New York subway should be free, and so I will use the New York subway for free. Look at me showing how good I think the world should be. And it's like, saying something should be free is not a valid opinion. Saying something should be funded for by, you know, like some other mechanism. Like if you don't like toll roads, then, you know, like agreeing not to drive on those toll roads is a valid mechanism. Agreeing to drive down the toll roads but then not paying the toll is saying, I want the things that cost money but I don't want to pay. It's the same as why shoplifting isn't okay. Even if the $6 milk costs $8 now when you're used to paying $6 for it, the correct boycott is not to buy milk. You might say you need milk, but no one needs milk. There are very few products you actually need. Most products are quite substitutable, with like the only exceptions being like you need a house of some form, like a roof over your head. You probably need electricity for like what you even then it's not a need, right? But like also I'm gonna knock that guy off using some wind charges. That's my idea. Yeah, what are you gonna do now you're on the ground? You're gonna die is what you're gonna do. It's fun being able to like take out some of these from in the sky. I should do something about it though, because it is a bit of a pain, if I'm being brutally honest with myself. People are getting poorer. Blame the ones on the top, not the people who are trying to get by. Oh, yeah, but see, that's like you can blame whoever you want, right? But that doesn't change. You are also making everyone else poorer when you steal from a system. That's my kind of take. I think Adblock's the easiest example to ignore for this. Like, it's like, yeah, no one actually cares about that. But like, if you steal from a store, everyone likes to believe it's like a big company. It's like they can take the losses. Because it's so much easier to understand that like if you steal from a small store, they have to put up prices or they have to lose money, neither of which are ideal outcomes. But we kind of convince ourselves it's like, oh yeah, we're a big company. It's okay that they lose money. You know, they've got enough money anyway, right? But it's like the thing about capital is it doesn't actually, you know, like what happens in places with high shoplifting is either they have to, you know, they either say we raise prices dramatically, or they just say, okay, we're done doing business here. And so if you steal from a store because the milk is $8 when you think it should be $6, you don't make the milk come down to $6. You make it go up to $8.50, or you make the milk not buyable anymore. There's this. I think the most dangerously misunderstood thing in the world is like a second order effect. Like what effect? Your impact on the world can be really righteous, but if your impact on the world causes other people's impact to be negative, that's bad. Me stealing how much from Adobe is nothing in comparison to how much billionaires are collectively stealing from us. So software piracy is... and maybe you could also argue this links into online services. It's slightly less true because there is a real cost to serving a video to you. It's just small. But yeah, Adobe has no direct costs in whether you download it or not. But even then, if you are arguing that Adobe has like any control over the money that, you know, billionaires as a whole have, you know, like if you put Adobe out of business, not that I'm saying you will, but if you put Adobe out of business, it doesn't magically mean... Is it still lagging, by the way, chat? I'm sorry, the Never's so bad. Even if you're... So where are we in the actual overworld? Yeah, but if you put Adobe out of business, it doesn't magically make all of that billionaire money better. It just means that there would be no Adobe, and so everyone has to now use a different editing software, right? Okay. I think there is definitely a Western problem of... I would say, like, I don't think that wealth accumulation is bad in itself. I think non-productive wealth accumulation is bad. And I think that's the problem we have in the Western world right now. Is that money is not just being funneled up to the top, it's being non-productively funneled up to the top. I think the easiest example of this could be like the richest... I think the easiest like counterbalances on this would be like, if you look at the two richest people in the world, the way Amazon approaches doing business is like, we are willing to lose a lot of money for a long time so we can provide services cheaper than the alternative. They've gone into medicine recently, if you haven't heard, with their goal being we want to drive other medical companies to force their prices down, or we just want to win the market, right? Like, it's the Amazon model, but for that. And that is like fundamentally, it's an allocation of capital that helps us all. Whereas if you look at, why do I have this here? Should I put a little pumpkin on the top? I think I should. I'm a firm opinion that people at the top have too much money. I think, even with that opinion, I would then say that a lot of the things, if, in the cases of like, you know, like if you steal enough from a place that the place goes out of business, it's like the big business still exists. The big corporation that has 4,000 locations still has the other 3,999, but now your location doesn't exist, and your grocery store's manager loses their job, you know? Your local customers lose their place to shop. Man, Minecraft is so weird. What is happening here? It's something I've not seen before. Okay, so it's nearby this village, by the way. So that's useful to know. It's basically next to nothing, but it's not quite actually next to nothing. So let's now take any other valuables that we need to from here. Gravel, Neverac. Yeah, none of this is that useful, I guess. And let's go take it home. Should we fly or should we do this? In my area, large national pharmacies lock up their products to prevent shoplifting. In order to buy deodorant, you have to press a button and wait for an employee to come and lock it. Oh yeah, that sucks so bad, Lizzie S. That's the... Oh man, it's the worst. I've done it so many times. I think, like... I think that's a classic example too, if like, everyone is saying... Like, everyone is very aware that retail is going away and being replaced by online services. One of the biggest reasons is it's really hard to steal from an online retailer. You can steal, like an interesting, like you know, flip of the script, if you will, is to steal from an online retailer. Besides like breaking in, you steal someone's package, right? You steal the package of one person, and so that means that like, you know, like I've heard package thieves are a big thing. I would say the biggest driver of that too is actually that very same inequality. I think it's one of the most useful things to know is that I think everyone should know this. Even if you're someone who's really, really pro inequality, which is, no one says that they are, but people believe in hierarchies, I think. Even if you're really pro like hierarchies and the idea that there should be people who are worth hundreds of billions, the more relatively poor people feel, the more they're willing to break the system to get ahead. And that system is the one that everyone relies on. Not just everyone else who is also in the poorer class, but also the rich people whose wealth is built on it too. There's probably an argument that like wealthy people can even escape that by, you know, like you buy your own private police, you buy your own private you know, power generation. You don't have to exist inside of a society if you have enough money, but it certainly affects the rest of us. That there should not be, at the very least, it shouldn't be visible. Like, you know, the amount of money that Putin, or is it MBS? It might be the Saudi Arabian guy, but there's a lot of money in the world that's like hidden away because no one knows who has it. You could argue that's a preferable system where people genuinely don't know how rich someone is, even though it's less transparent. I think it's one of those few cases that goes against my theory that everything should be public. Because there are some forms of public that make people very radical in a way that is negative. Shoplifting's such a massive problem at my job that half the time I'm doing security and not my actual job, says Jaden. The real question, though, is who do you think is responsible for the shoplifting? Are people making individual choices, or are they beholden to the system that forces them to make them? I think the answer is clear. I think even though like relative inequality and I think what it actually is it all depends on whether you have role models in your life. If there are people that you know that have money, you'll believe it's possible for yourself to make money. If everyone you know is relatively speaking poor, you'll believe that the system is rigged against you. And again, like table flip, I'm not playing your game anymore. which is, you know, negative for most people involved. I believe he owns all of Russia. Look at the map and see how bonkers it is. Yeah, there's an interesting thing within that, though, Dasher, of, like, does he? Like, what is the... I think it's a really interesting one to think about. Like, how does ownership exist? And it's like, this is my big rant I went on recently. And it's like, because we all kind of agree with it. Also, in a lot of cases, it's people stealing things like alcohol, which is more poor personal choices. Yeah, I always forget that that's true. It's always what I see with my own eyes, but like, you spend enough time on the internet, and people will convince you, like, oh yeah, all stealing is because people just desperately need food. Because the idea of someone stealing, like, to get a bread roll because they need to feed their family, it's not actually morally superior, but for some reason we all have, like, oh, interesting. I think we all have, like, a weak spot for the idea that, like, you could see yourself stealing if it meant, you know, providing for your loved ones, right? I think we all have a little soft spot for that. But yeah, the actual theft that has increased massively is, like, alcohol. But even then, you can say it's a poor personal choice, but then, like, so why, given that alcohol consumption is down, why are more people stealing alcohol? What is there's, like, a really complicated question there I wish I had a good answer to. It's the kind of boring thing about inequality as a subject, is it's one of those, like, it is going... Everyone agrees that it has negative consequences, but, like, there isn't a good way to solve it. The only cases where I won't intervene is people taking things like tampons. See, Jaden, why do you morally distinguish between if I had £4 and I used the £4 to buy a box of tampons and steal the wine, versus if I used the £4 to steal a bottle of wine and buy... Wait, no, and buy the wine, steal the tampons. Because you could argue, in effect, that's all anyone is ever doing, right? If anyone has ever made a non-essential purchase in their life, but then needs to steal essentials, it's because they bought non-essentials. You know, if I have... It's... The actual... I think this is why, like, if you actually try to break down philosophy on a deeper level, you realize it's like, oh yeah, we feel very different ways about effectively the same situation. I had a friend, I think I mentioned this, like, the friend was like, oh yeah, he was really addicted. He was like, I love going to people's house parties. He was my friend after this comment. I love going to people's house parties because you can, you know, steal their stuff and then you can sell it, you know. It was like, wow, going to a house party is a money maker of an idea. And I don't even know what to do with these blaze rods, by the way, or these breeze rods. Do I have a place for them in my world? I bet I have a spot in here. No, I don't. Because tampons shouldn't cost as much as they do. I'm amazed at... Okay, I think the sociology of why products cost what they do is really interesting. Especially as someone... I travel a lot between North America and the UK. And so some things that are really expensive here are very cheap there. The drink being a good example. And some things that are really cheap here are really expensive there. Basically, every hygiene product is like 6 times cheaper in the UK, even after you adjust for things. And I think that tells you some interesting thoughts. Also, I need the wine, not the tampons. Toycats stole that lobster roll to feed his family. Yeah, if I steal that lobster roll, and then I buy, you know, I don't know. If I steal that lobster roll because I need it to feed myself, but then I buy myself a 22-pound bottle of wine, then I should have just bought the lobster roll and given up on the wine, right? Yeah, we're about to break 6,800 days, by the way. Very exciting. But it's an excitement for a different time. This stream's been a lot of fun. I hope you've enjoyed it, chat. We got a little deep. Wait, is that what happened to my DVD player? You know, like, here's an interesting one. I think the tampon one is actually really interesting, right? Okay, so, as Kat mentioned, in Scotland, it's free in most public buildings. It's like a law thing. But the reason that most people argue that it should be free to provide menstrual products for people is because toilet paper is free and it's like a similar need, right? But if you think about it, is there a need to provide toilet paper for free? I think there's this like it's one of my pet causes is public bathrooms. We set in our like ideological motions the idea that public bathrooms should be free. And what ended up happening is not we made the world better because there are so many more bathrooms. We've now set the expectation that you should set... Like, have you ever thought about how crazy rent is these days? Like, a small business, like a small restaurant or something, has to spend, you know, call it, for 1,000 square feet, $1,000. And then they have to set aside 20% of what they're paying for to put a bathroom in, and then they're not allowed to charge any money on that. And isn't that... And then also they have to, like, stock it with toilet paper, and they have to clean it, etc., etc. I think you could make a decent argument that, like, under that same logic of, like, all money goes somewhere, that actually, isn't the expectation of free toilet paper actually something that takes away access to bathrooms? The expectation of a clean and a whatever bathroom. I as someone who's, like, would much rather, in some cases, just have a clean, fine bathroom that maybe you pay 20p for, even though I emotionally can't actually pay 20p. I feel like most people would prefer to have better bathroom access than cheaper bathroom access, but we equate the two, and I think sometimes we make the world worse. Anyway, it's sunset. This is too big of a thing. Stealing is always bad, and I think any further debate is just excuses to do bad things, says James Perot. Yeah, if you... I genuinely think that if you... I think the reason why is because it's the non-consensual nature of it, right? You can't argue that, oh, I really wanted to have something that belonged to you. I needed to, in fact, so I just took it, is ever going to be okay. Because your first recourse should always be ask, and your second recourse should be something else, and your last recourse should be steal, and even then it shouldn't actually be a recourse, you know? But for a lot of people, it's their first, or their second it's their immediate, like, well... The world's unfair, and there's a lot of money anyway, so I'd better do it. I think that's my actual take here. Is that we can say, oh, Dasha says you value profits over people. No, I value not breaking people financially over people. I think in the same way that if you were to imagine this, right? Imagine like because every time you add stealing, we think about stealing from someone who is worth stealing from. But if you think about it like via a multiple chain process, if I get stolen from and everything, you know, like if I am on the way to pay for something for a friend, I have £1,000 in a cash envelope, and someone steals that money from me, I now cannot pay that person, right? That's the whole nature of the economy. When you steal something from anyone, you are preventing someone else from having the money. And you can make a judgment about whether they can afford a theft or not. But theft makes the world a worse place, always. In a world where no one stole, we would all be better than in a world where we all selectively choose to steal and selectively choose to work out who our target should be. I think that is undisputable. I think in a society where we all trust each other not to steal is a society that is infinitely improved. Personally, that's my take on this one. As someone with IBS, it's insane how few public bathrooms actually exist at all. Making them all paid on top is actually absurd. I think that what I'm saying, though, is like, even though I don't think I would be able to bring myself to do it, it'd be better to have more bathrooms, some of which are paid, than to have no bathrooms, right? It's like, you would rather have... an easy example of this would be... If you are like something that's probably happened to enough people at some point is you've tried to get on a train or a plane and you've been told there's no tickets available, and you're like, there's no tickets available, and it's like, yeah, we had 100 seats, we've sold 104 of them, you can't go there today. And you're like, but I paid for a ticket. And they're like, but 104 people paid for a ticket, and so, you know, GG. And it's like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if there was like a way for that 104th person to buy a different seat on a different flight so that you could still go? Anyway, I've got a whole rant on the way pricing works. You're lucky, IBX Toycat, you don't live in America. Live in Japan, the crime rate is so low. yeah, people genuinely prefer societies where you trust each other, right? Like Singapore, Japan. There are problems in those places, but people do not steal from each other, and so the society works much better. And people don't even steal from convenience stores because that means that convenience stores don't have to spend as much money stopping you from stealing from them. And, you know, that might seem like it's saying, wow, it's great people don't steal because convenience stores can make more money. It's like, no, it's great people don't steal from convenience stores so people don't have to spend their lives dealing with security for a convenience store, right? Anyway, my dad took my computer and hid it, so I can't use it, and I'm pissed. I have someone I like to watch who's streaming so electric animations. You're welcome very much. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a long one, too. I hope that if you are watching this live stream, you take from it the key message. Do you do this when you try to stop talking to people in real life, Toycat? Yeah, I feel on the internet. If you want to know, Adam Sony, you're my therapist now. Let's do therapy time with Toycat. I think, particularly when we're talking about stuff like this, I feel the need to round it out correctly, because there's this dumb human instinct. It's the worst human instinct. It's day 6800. Woo! So let's go back to the hole. Actually, if we're gonna end the stream anywhere, it should be at the hole, right? I mean, I'm just saying, logically speaking. But yeah, the most interesting thing to me, is that the dumbest human flaw is that if you put out a YouTube video or you put out anything on the internet, like a social media post, you'll get people responding to it, and they'll be responding to things that, you know, like, as an example, if I say, hey, next update is coming out on the 25th of March, then there'll be people being like, what's the next update? I think the next update, we don't know when the next update's coming out, Toycat. Only Mojang knows. And you'd be like, well, here's why we know that. And they'll be like, but what even is the next update? How do you know what the next update is? And you gotta be, you know, like, but I think this gets particularly contentious with certain issues of, like, and I think this particularly scales when it comes to, like, if you talk about something this big and you end on it, there's gonna be someone who finishes the live stream being like, wow, Toycat, but you didn't clarify. Did you really just say that you think, like, I don't know, like a Japanese convenience store deserves to make more money at the expense of some poor person stealing bread? I said, no. That's not what I said. I've got to finish my thoughts so you understand that I'm saying that actually everyone is better. Literally everyone is better off. Like, using 2 wrongs to make a right makes 3 wrongs to make a right, makes 4 wrongs to make a right, makes a society that no one feels happy living in. And there are problems to be solved. But the right solutions are so much harder than the wrong solutions. And that's my actual take. Also, did I make this or does this just exist? Anyway, here is my giant, terrifying hole. I hope you've enjoyed. So the dumbest human flaw is the design of the desert well. We love it, though. Damn straight, Brando Reed. Also, I think I might build something over here. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. In conclusion, Toycat's very hot. Thank you, Jaden. I would love to hear some of your shoplifting stories, by the way, Jaden. Just end the video, and yes, I believe in eugenics. Okay, so let's look up a list of controversial issues, and let's just give yes and no answers. Controversial issues. Abortion, alternative medicine, animal testing, artificial intelligence, assisted suicide, climate change, slavery, and the Holocaust. Yes or no answer to all of that all at once. Actually, yeah, just leave a yes, no answer in response to this video. You're not allowed to separate them out. Yes or no on all of those, chat. There we go. That'll distract people from anything else I said today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my hole later. Oh, go watch Super Flat, the movie, by the way. We were planning to have the Nomad run done by today, and it's like almost done. So it's gonna go out on Sunday instead. Hopefully, yesn't. Okay, there we go. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. There's too many people saying yes by